action, a rematch. Waukee hosting Ankeny tonight. The Warriors scored with 7.2 seconds to go, 7.6 seconds to go to beat Ankeny with two. They came back down 17-7 in the fourth quarter and scored 2 touchdowns that final one to win it. Dar Danielson alongside Flynn Heald here, and Waukee is really into the playoffs, playing really well coming into this matchup here, Flynn.
They've looked good rolling through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, and today they're looking to take full advantage of what their O-line and D-line has been able to accomplish, which is setting the tone early and often for the Waukee team.
And down on the field tonight, Paul Yeager, he calls the games at Ankeny. And Paul, what have you seen out of Ankeny heading into the playoffs and moving up to this rematch?
Well, go back 2 weeks, Dar, when it was pretty cold. Remember that night? Well, Ankeny took care of Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson 70-0, and then they had a game against Cedar Falls, a team they hadn't played for years, and then all of a sudden they played 3 times in 3 seasons. It was tied at 16 at the half. Colin Kadolf, running back, who was trying to make a couple of statements, had a great first handoff, gets hurt on the next play, ankle. He has that ankle tape tonight. He is back out on the field, but Arlen Bruce, we all hear about this Arlen Bruce guy that's come up. Well, he is in the last couple of games started to come alive, and he had to be a key part of that Ankeny offense. And so tonight they're going to need him on offense. They may have to rely on him on defense as well, Dar. You know how many weapons Waukee has, and that's going to be a change from the first time these two teams played. Because remember, Bruce did not play in that opening game.
Right.
And it's going to be a different story tonight.
And what are the conditions? Looks like it's pretty nice weather-wise. A little bit of a breeze coming out of the south, right?
Would you like to hear the wind a little bit in the microphone? But
sure.
Yeah, it's out of the south, 12 miles an hour. And it's going straight south to north. So as you're watching, listening, think of it right to left. It's going to be a little bit of a, because think of this. Normally, when the sun goes down, so does the wind. It doesn't usually pick up as the game goes on. Something to watch tonight is both of these teams will try to throw the football, and it has been a factor for Ankeny quarterback Jace Bauer as this season has wound down, Dar. He's actually thrown 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. That's characteristic. He'd had a great early campaign, but win tonight could be a factor trying to put some touch on those passes.
All right, well, these two teams trying to get to a place where it's 72 and calm all the time. The Unidome, you get to go there and play in the carpet with the semifinals, and that's what they're playing for here tonight. We're going to take a break. We'll do that. We'll come back with more of the pregame show here on CISN.TV.
At Schottenkirk Ford in Indianola, an all-time sales record in September means you'll save thousands as we try to break the record again. Get up to $14,000 off new 2020 Ford F-150 XLTs, up to $8,000 off new 2020 Ford Escapes. Our certified used vehicles come with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Why Schottenkirk Ford? Our core values: hard work, trust, honesty, and integrity. Hurry in. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Here at Waukee High School on CISN.TV, we are streaming this audio only tonight. We will have the video replay after the game, but because of the restrictions with the High School Athletic Union, we don't have the rights to stream the video, so we're streaming just the audio here tonight. Dar Danielson, Flynn Heald. We'll talk with Paul Yeager a little bit later on down on the field, but you look at that, and Waukee coming in, and everybody knew they had one of the toughest schedules in the state. They lost a close one to Southeast Polk, and then they won that Ankeny game late. Beat Centennial, lost a close one to Dowling Catholic, and then ran the string out up till now. And that game really kind of gave them a charge because Ankeny comes in here. They were rated number 2 at the time. They had to come from behind, and it just said, hey, we've got something here. If we can come back, we've got a good team here, and that kind of defined their season early on, didn't it?
What a feeling that's probably done for the Waukee team as a whole. You're coming into that game with a loss, just off of a loss, and you're able to win last second like that. I'm assuming today, if you're Dale Stout, you're probably looking for some feeling very similar to that, hopefully a late end zone touchdown catch. And if you're Ankeny right now, nothing better than sweet redemption. Sounds good to you.
Dale Stout, the guy who came in, his first action, and he caught the winning touchdown pass, corner fade there. And for Ankeny, that loss to Waukee was the only blemish on their 8-1 record here on the season. They went through and beat Valley, Johnson, Indianola, Council Bluffs, and then a tough Cedar Falls team in the last week. So they've had a pretty tough go there. They did not play Dowling here, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the second time around. We have our player spotlight here for you too tonight. Let's talk a little bit about that. The two players we're going to spotlight. And first of all, we'll talk about Jace Bauer. He's 1,642 passing yards. That's third in Class 4A. 24 touchdown passes, the most in 4A. 543 rushing yards, 7 TDs. So he's that rushing passing threat that we don't quite see out of Waukee's quarterback. They had it last year, but they've spread the offense out a little more. But he can beat you a lot of ways.
Jace is a true dual-threat quarterback, has the ability to extend plays with his feet as well as throw the ball deep down the field. And when you're Ankeny, you need a guy like that with an offense that wants to spread the ball out and get the ball to playmakers deep down the field. You see the 147 QBR rating. Let's put him in the NFL with that. I'll take him on my team.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd take him on my fantasy team there for that. Then for Waukee, their player we're going to spotlight tonight. Who else? But Aaron Smith, 543 receiving yards, 9 touchdown catches. That ties it for third in 4A. 331 rushing yards, 6 rushing TDs, 17 total TDs this year, including an interception return to kick return. He almost had a blocked punt for a touchdown last week. He got in there and blocked that punt, and it rolled away from him, and Ben Ryland jumped on it, but he almost had another way of scoring off the block punt last week.
When you're talking about a kid that can truly take over a football game, Aaron Smith is one of those kids that comes to mind. He has the capability of doing anything on any side of the ball at any time he wants, and let's look to see that tonight for him for Waukee. If you can get him going early, if you can get him touches, he's going to be a menace out there.
Now, Paul mentioned it last time. It seemed like Brody Brecht and Aaron Smith kind of matched up on each other throughout the game. Now you have another player who can go out there and line up possibly on defense in Arlen Bruce and maybe, add a little bit to that defense. And, we'll see how they decide to do that.
If Waukee's going to try to play that game or rebalance Aaron Smith with Brody Brecht, like you said, that other option of Arlen Bruce now, it does add a wrinkle. So this is why this matchup is so intriguing. A second time around, I can't wait to see who wins this one.
And then you look, too, Alex Lindquist, 262 carries on the season, 1,427 yards. The guy, he's a workhorse, and over 9 games, 262 carries. That's like about 30 a game. He did have 40 in that one playoff game, but that's about averaging 30 totes of the rock in a game.
When we've watched his game, too, it's not like he's getting weaker as these carries go on. He's getting stronger, carrying bodies with him. He's a football player for you.
Waukee huddling in the end zone down there. They'll be wearing the black and white tonight. And we've been saying it for a couple weeks. This could be the last football game for one school for Waukee, but we know for sure this is going to be the last football game, and that is something that Coach Carlson hasn't talked a lot about, but they mentioned it as they run onto the field here tonight.
And you got to feel that community energy going right now as Waukee. This is that last time playing together. You want to leave it all out on that field for your community.
And while that's the thing they're going to be talking about for years. Is remember we were the last class in 2020 and the COVID and all that stuff. But what better way to go to the Unidome, the semifinals, and maybe get into the title matchup here? But Ankeny, they got other thoughts. They since the two schools split up there, and they've gone through that. But Ankeny here is back strong, and they're looking to punch their own ticket to the semifinals.
And if you're Ankeny today, what other better way to do that than to get the ball to your playmakers? So I'm looking to see number 11, Brody Breck, make plays early and often today. The Iowa commit, I can't wait to see him in black and gold next year too.
Well, Paul, they had the coin toss, right? And Waukee will get the ball, is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Ankeny won the toss, deferred, and Ankeny will kick from south to north.
Okay, so got our national anthem. Let's take a break. We'll do that. Be back right after this.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
And at Waukee Stadium, Dar Danielson, Flynn Hill, Paul Yeager on the sidelines tonight in this quarterfinal matchup here, a rematch. Waukee and Southeast Polk. Waukee won the first one in the final 7.6 seconds with a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to beat Ankeny in that first matchup. And I don't care what happens. I'm just hoping, there's some good athletes out here. Let's have a good game. Hopefully not a lot of penalties, but a lot of action on the field.
You and I were talking about this earlier briefly, but if you're a fan of the long ball, this is a game to watch. If you're a fan of round and pound, this is a game to watch. I don't think there's any one particular style that you're not going to see today from both these teams, and it's going to be a blast to watch them try to utilize those offensive skills and techniques to beat their opponents.
Yeah, either one of them can hand it off, and Paul mentioned Kadolf had an ankle injury, but he's got that wrapped up. They have Jace Bauer and Jacob Holcomb out there, the two quarterbacks, although we already know they haven't decided, but they're doing the ceremonial here where they're telling everybody Ankeny won the toss and deferred, and Waukee will receive. And we're just about ready for action here tonight. Waukee out in their black uniforms with the white numerals, which I like because they have those gray ones with the kind of purple numbers, and they get hard to see under the stadium lights.
These jerseys are definitely commentator friendly.
And then for Ankeny, they have the white tops, white helmets, and the gold bottoms over there with the numbers that also look like they're going to be easy to see here tonight. So, man, ready for football. It seems like, well, I guess maybe it's the weather, but it doesn't seem like we're in the playoffs already. It seems like the season went fast, but then it seems like it's been a long season, and then all the talk, and want to tip our caps to Valley. It's a tough thing. Dowling went through it with baseball, and then Valley, they're getting ready to play, and then they have to sit out because of the COVID, and we saw it at the Girls State Volleyball Tournament. Wapsie Valley they made it, but they had to sit out, and that's just tough on the kids who worked all year to get here.
You feel for all those kids. You feel for their families, their communities. It's something you can never get back. However, to all those kids, I would say, if you've got more ball ahead of you, you've got more ball ahead of you. And if not, you've learned lessons inside of these lines that can be carried on much past this sport.
Back deep to receive, Smith, Morrison, and Lindquist for the Warriors as they get ready to kick it off. Max Pelham ready to kick it deep, and with that wind behind him, we'll see if he gets it into the end zone and keeps it away from Smith. Most teams have done that this year. He has returned one for a touchdown. This one is going to come up, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. And 1st and 10 at the 20 for Waukee. They'll take over. They'll come out. It'll be Garrett Sperling, Bo Schaller, Cale Winter, Matt Kaputska, Connor Southout. The same starting lineup last week. Those are the big guys up front. He's got Lindquist in the backfield, Holcomb, and he'll send 2 receivers to the right. Smith is in the slot on the right, and he comes in motion. Right to left. Hand off to Lindquist. He's into the hole and wrapped up right away. Tackled by Bryce Peterson.
Not much going there for the Waukee run game. 2nd down. One thing that I've noticed, Darwin, watching the Waukee offense, they tend to do a much better job when they're in 2nd and manageable, 3rd and manageable. So, again, you're looking to get in that 3rd and 5 range here. We'll see what they call.
2nd down and 9. Send a man in motion across. Now they'll split it out in the backfield to Smith, and he is hammered and brought down.
And I have a feeling that Ankeny may have seen that play once or twice on film before. They sniffed it out. Great tackle for loss.
And tackle for loss of 8 for Smith. So that brings up a 3rd and long right away for this Waukee offense. Holcomb, 2 right, 1 receiver left, sends in motion Sadat. Right up the middle is Lindquist. He busts through up to the 20, so it gets back to the original line of scrimmage, gets 7 on that. And Rachi, the safety on the tackle. The 5'9", 160-pound senior. It'll be 4th down. They'll bring out Garrett Schmidt. He's averaging 33.8 yards per punt. And
great start there by Ankeny's defense.
Arlen Bruce back along with Brody Breck to receive the punt.
It's got to feel pretty good as a coach to put 2 Iowa commits back there to return a punt, huh?
Yeah, 2 speedsters. High snap, he gets the punt off, high punt. And they're going to come up. It's going to bounce at the 45, take a good Waukee bounce, and get down to the 46. So there'll be a 34-yard punt for Waukee. 1st and 10 for Ankeny. And we'll see Jace Bauer, the senior, bring him out. Justice Miller, Logan Curtis, Tyler Campbell, Antonio Espino, and Joe Klingston. A line across there. 2 receivers right, 1 left, single back in the backfield. And dropping back, looks to go outside, incomplete. He was looking for Bruce in the flat, but he tried to go out deep to Breck and looked like Bruce was open, but he went to Breck and looked like he was covered.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a miscommunication there, but it looked like 2 routes ended up in the same vicinity. Aaron Smith was able to cover them both. Great coverage there by Aaron Smith, reading that out route and breaking on it.
2nd and 10 now at the 46. Fake, now throw it out, has Breck wide open in the flat. He'll get up for a 1st down.
And Ankeny must have saw something they really liked there. They sent Breck in motion. Waukee defense did not adjust, did not bump down a safety to cover Breck. They just did a little RPO, bumped it off to him, and let him take care of the rest. 1st down, Ankeny.
Number 21, 1st down, Hawks.
1st and 10 at the 42. Dropping back. Looking now, Bauer will roll out over the right side and is then finally pulled down over there by Evanson.
Tackle by Chase Evanson, number 32.
And Bauer picks up 7.
And what both these teams, we're going to see from both these teams' offenses is a tempo-style offense where they're trying to get a lot of plays in.
Bauer throws it out, little out pattern there, and that'll be a first down. McCullough with the catch. Mukhtar on the tackle. And that'll be a pickup of 12. And right back up is Bauer. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The slot on the right, and the running back is Arlen Bruce. He takes it right up the middle, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Arlen Bruce, 31 yards out.
And he looked like he hit a 6th or 7th gear there when the rest of everybody was running in 5th gear. He's got an extra gear there, buddy. Good run.
What'd you see there on the line, Paul? Nope, didn't hear me.
Oh, you needed me, Dar?
Yeah.
That was quite the play, I got to tell you. That hole just opened up, and there wasn't even anybody that, from my angle, that got a glove on him.
And getting ready for the extra point here. Kick is up and good. And that makes it 7-0. Ankeny over Waukee. They scored first the last time. They scored a field goal in that ball game, but they're on the board first here. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and this has been a crazy year. We might just run out of furniture, but we still have a great selection right now. We have wicker, we have fire pits, we have poly, and if you want something for your deck this year, you should come see us right now. Still have the greatest selection in Iowa at the best prices. Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas, just west of Homemaker.
Again, or do you want to go to me after the score before the kick? Is that when you want to go?
Yeah, we're back here live on CISN.TV. Darn Danielson, Flynn Heald, Paul Yeager down on the field, and a quick strike there by Ankeny as they take it at the 46 and they go down 54 yards and score. Quickly after the punt, and now they'll be kicking off again here. Back deep is Lindquist, Morrison, and Smith for Waukee. Smith in the middle down there, and this one is going to go into the end zone, and Waukee will start over 1st and 10 at the 20 here. And let's go back down to Paul. Did you see anything? Just a good hole opened up, Paul? Is that what you saw in that run?
Dar, that was a good hole. So think of the way that drive was set up. Pass left, pass right. Then they came back up on the first run of the game, went to Bruce. That hole opened up right there between guard and tackle, and Bruce did the rest.
Here's Holcomb back to pass. Throws across. Has the tight end there. Menz. Braden Menz. And he's another weapon for Flynn we forget about sometimes because of Sadab, but he's another big guy out there that they go to.
What a luxury to be able to have 2 tight ends and go into that 12 personnel when you need to.
We said 2 receivers left this time, and Smith in the backfield. They give it to Smith. Smith looking for room, cuts it outside. There's a flag down up to the 30, and he'll be dropped in first down territory, but there's a flag down right at the line of scrimmage, which may indicate a hold. And they're going to call holding on Waukee. And that negates the first down. And since it's a 10-yard penalty, but it'll take it back to the 14, so it'll be 2nd and 17 or 16 for the Warriors. So they come out again. They bring Lindquist into the backfield, hand it off to him, and he dives ahead and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And not much there.
And so far from this interior Ankeny defense, they've done a really good job of changing up pressure looks, sometimes going double A's with the backers, sometimes only sending one, and it's really getting that O-line guessing, putting them into bad running positions.
So Waukee now with trips to the right, single back behind Holcomb, and one receiver to the left. They send Sadat in motion. He comes back inside the block, and they pound it right up the middle there with Lindquist. And he's going to get shy of the original line of scrimmage. And that's going to bring up 4th down and another punt for Waukee. So the defense doing its job early on here for Ankeny. Braxton Bruce back to receive the punt here. Good snap. Punt is high, and calling for the fair catch at the 40-yard line is Brecht, and that's where Ankeny will take over. 1st and 10.
And that was back-to-back punts for Waukee, where that wall had gotten collided by Ankeny and almost ended up in the lap of the punter. One of those could cost them one of these days. You got to be careful there.
And we knew that was early on in the season. They had trouble with that high snap or low snap on the punts, and that was an issue for them. But here comes Jace Bauer. He'll bring the offense back out. And looks like is that Bruce in the backfield with trips to the right for Bauer. Hands it off to Bruce, looking for room over the right side. Cuts it up, down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Nope. Did he step out? Nope, he stepped out. Okay, the official on the far side marking him out at the 1.
Wow, there's nothing short of spectacular there. Did a phenomenal job bursting through the hole, and again, he reached that extra gear. Holy cow.
39-yard pickup makes it 1st and goal at the 1 for Ankeny.
And man, when you throw the ball as well as Ankeny does, it makes running the ball pretty easy, obviously.
Well, they're going to take a timeout. Waukee is on defense here. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this on CISN.TV.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way, and from a safe distance away, delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
Back here at Waukee, Ankeny up 7-0, and they force Waukee to punt. One play, Arlen Bruce takes it 39 yards down to the 1, where it's 1st and goal here with 6:29 to go in the first period. Dar Danielson with Flynn Heel, and this is my first time to see live Arlen Bruce, Flynn, and I'm impressed already.
I am as well. That old line from the longest yard, he makes fast guys look not fast. Could not apply more to anybody other than Arlen Bruce. He hit that extra gear there, Dar, and I haven't seen something like that in high school in a while.
And we've been watching Aaron Smith, here, and he's quick, but he's kind of a little more deceptive as he floats out there, but Bruce is just boom, hits the gas and goes. And now Waukee took a timeout on defense.
That explosiveness must be what Iowa saw on film, because he's a special player.
Big call for the defense of Waukee if they could get a stop, hold to a field goal or something here, but Bauer with Bruce right behind him. They're going a tight formation now. And Bauer will take it himself, trying to lean forward. No call yet. And he'll be stopped. 2nd down and 1. And Bauer on the year has rushed for 7 touchdowns. Same formation again, tight formation.
He's getting under center, I'm assuming sneak.
Yep, under center, and he looks toward the west side, burrows in there, no signal yet. The official comes in down the line, still no hands in the air by the officials. And they're going to say he's short. 3rd and 1. It looked like he had a little momentum over that left side.
It did. However, I would say this. Waukee's clearly seen Ankeny and gun the whole game. Bauer gets under center. I think everybody in the whole place is thinking QB sneak.
Now they're spreading them out. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Man comes in motion. Now up under formation. That was Bruce, and he's going to sneak it in. Arlen Bruce comes up, goes under center, and sneaks it in for the touchdown.
Arlen Bruce taking a direct snap from center.
That was an interesting wrinkle right there. Motion in your receiver, have him stick the hands under the center, and go ahead and become the quarterback.
Well, you got everybody thinking jet sweep coming across there, but he just comes up under center. You're right, and they snap it to him, and Bruce runs it right in from 1 yard out. His second touchdown here. And out for the extra point is Pelham. He's kicked 52, 47 of 52. Well, he's kicked 53. Now 54. That one's good. And it's 14-0 Ankeny early on here. We'll take a break, come back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
He's not at my back. Well, maybe I need to do it that way. But then the mic is pointed wrong.
.5:22 to go here in the first quarter. Ankeny's forced 2 punts and scored each time against Waukee. Here, they took the first one 54 yards, the second one 40 yards. And let me see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 plays on the second drive. And they end up scoring, and it took them minute 16 to punch it in 40 yards. But when you get the 39 of the 40 on one play, Marlon Bruce, then that explains why. Smith, Morrison, and Lindquist back again to receive if they get a chance here with the win to return this, and it doesn't look like they will. It's high and almost out the back of the end zone. So Waukee will start in the same place they have started each drive here, Flynn, and they need to get, if nothing else, get a few first downs on this drive because that defense has been out there already a lot of this first quarter.
Got to get something going here, and penalties are obviously going to shoot us in the foot a little bit here, but we got to get into second and manageable, third and manageable. 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 is just not going to cut it on this drive. Let's see for them to get into third and manageable here.
Waukee with Holcomb. Man in motion, St. Anne looks for punching a hole in there for Lindquist. He piles up across the 25, a pickup of 6. 5 or 6, they'll mark it at 5.
A good first down call, get Lindquist going, get him carrying some bodies, and hopefully bruise some of these guys up, open up a bigger run later.
Come out again with trips to the left. Lindquist a single back behind Holcomb. Fakes to him, throws a slant to Smith and right through his hands there. And Paul, on that Ankeny drive there, anything different you saw, that sneak with Bruce? You've seen them do that before?
No. I've never seen that play before where the guy in motion comes in and takes the snap and goes in. The only question is down from the sideline, was he moving forward at the snap? That's just something to look. Again, different. Here's the thing right now, Waukee has got to pick up this first down, but they've got to figure out a way to keep the ball, not run up-tempo, but keep it so they can finally get some positive yards.
Holcomb back, throws it out, has a man out there at the 32. That'll be a first down. That's Hayden Hundley, and he's kind of the security blanket. Has been all year long for Holcomb.
It looked like Holcomb went straight to 10 with his eyes, and he knew where he was going with the ball. Still covered. Great catch by Hayden Huntley. Way to make a play for your team.
So Huntley comes out wide. And we got Dale Stout here down at the bottom of the screen in the trips formation. And rolling, looking, gets it out there to Hundley again. And good pickup for Hundley. Everybody covers Stout and Smith, and Hundley does a good job. He runs good routes, and he's that security blanket for Holcomb.
He is, and just relating back to that play, Waukee's been consistent with running the ball early and down and distance, and they go with a little play action there. Against this cover 2 look, when you're in trips, the best way to attack it is to attack that single safety in that single corner. That way you can put them into a bind.
Holcomb sends the man in motion again. That's Sadat, and he's going to go into the pile and try to push it around, but he doesn't make much headway there with the handoff to Lindquist. He's going to lose a yard there and bring up a 3rd down and 6 or 7 here for 3rd down and 7.
And again, here we see this split safety look from Ankeny, meaning where are the voids in the defense? They'd be in the 3rd portions of the field. Oh, they're going to rotate into man coverage, man free.
Trips left, 1 receiver right. Lindquist, here comes Sadat over, and he steps into that slot spot. Fakes to Lindquist. Rolling, looking, throws across the top to Sadat, and he was hand fighting. There's a flag down. That's going to be a penalty there on Ryan Crandall as Sadat got down, and there was a lot of pushing and shoving, and you see the yellow hanky on the field now. The penalty will go against Ankeny, and that'll be a 1st down.
And he appeared to be in good coverage, but when that ball's in the air and you as a defender don't turn around to play it, if the offensive player makes an attempt at that ball and you're in his way, you're going to get the PI every time.
So interference moves the ball up to the 50. Would be 1st and 10 for Waukee. So exactly what they want. Keep the ball moving here. Trailing 14-0 early. Holcomb looks to the sideline. He's got Smith and Stout to the left. Sadat in the slot on the right, and Lindquist is behind him. Hand off. No, he keeps it. Holcomb fakes to Lindquist. Now he cuts back in, and he'll be smothered under in white there at the 50. We've seen him be a little successful with that as everybody's looking at Lindquist on the fake, but that time Nixon Timo was right in there with a bunch of other
not much going on there for
defenders.
7, but he was very lucky to get back to line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 at the 50. Holcomb, same formation here. Now they step back and look to the sideline. You'll come up to the line and tell everybody what the call is and then go back in that pistol. Takes a snap, drops straight back. Looking, rushing, under pressure, throws it out as he got early pressure in there.
And a good adjustment by the Ankeny defense. Originally, they've been running cover 2 down here to the 2 tight end look, which is corner to the flat, high safety. They rolled the safety down and played it man, giving Holcomb a different look. He thought the out was going to be there, and it wasn't there.
Webb Tate came off the edge, and he had nowhere to go. So 3rd and 10, another big 3rd down here for Waukee as they try to keep the drive alive. Rolling left now, Holcomb. Now they throw back right to Sadat. Sadat is going to be smothered under. Good reaction by the Ankeny defense. He'll lose 2. And back to the 48 here. It'll be 4th and 12 at the 48. And they're going to bring on the punt team here with 1:52 to play and counting in the 1st quarter. Brody Breck will go back to be the single safety back on punt receive.
If you're Waukee, try to build some momentum here with special teams. Pin Ankeny deep. Get your defense in some good field position.
Good snap. Good high kick. Breck calls for the fair catch. It wasn't real deep into that wind. They're going to take it over at the 23. And what are you seeing down there on defense that Ankeny's doing well, Paul?
Hey, Dar, the one thing you got to – it's hard to throw the ball. I don't know if you can tell exactly how windy it is down here. That wind is definitely noticeable. You can hear it in my microphone. You can see it right now. give Waukee credit on that drive for at least trying to throw the football. Look for Ankeny here. You got 90 seconds. They are going to try to – this is a 2-minute offense right here. They are going to absolutely try to take advantage. Look for them something deep, skinny route. Look for a number 11, Brody Brecht, on this drive.
This is their worst starting position. They hand it off up the middle, and that's to Arlen Bruce again. And as Paul mentioned, Kadolf with the ankle injury. Bruce seeing all the time at tailback, so Kadolf apparently, they decided let's go with Arlen Bruce there. He picks up 2, 2nd and 8. Rolling down toward a minute to go here in the first half. As Paul mentioned, the breeze pretty tough down there on the field. Dropping back. Bauer looking, runs, now rolls out of trouble. He's going to run for the, well, I thought he had the first down, but he's going to be pulled down just short of it there. As good close by the defense. Jermaine Samler. And we've been seeing him play a lot more here.
A great open field tackle there by Jermaine Sandler, and that was definitely a wrestling tackle. You'll see that kid on the mat here in the winter.
So 3rd down and 1, a big 3rd down here for the Waukee defense. If they could hold them here to get the win. This one thrown out and caught up beyond the first down marker.
Number 12, McCullough.
Brady McCullough in there, and he makes the catch. And so it'll be first down. It stops the clock on the first down, but that, let's see if they get another playoff with the win.
You know, you got to give 8 credit where credit's due, and he put that ball outside where only the receiver could catch it. Nice throw by Jace Bauer.
2 receivers right, 1 left. They send Brecht out of the backfield. Now Bauer is scrambling ahead, and he's going to be pulled down there by the defense. And in on the tackle, Josh Kamen.
Josh Kamen, number 44, in on that tackle as well.
We're seeing a few different linemen in there on defense for Waukee. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. 14-0 Ankeny. They'll have to switch around and go into the win here when we come back after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Waukee, Dar Danielson, Flynn Heel. Down on the field is Paul Yeager. And Paul, you've talked about the wind down there. And so Ankeny, I'll keep it on the ground a little more.
Yeah, you think you've seen Arlen Bruce before. You're going to see him a lot more now. Bruce is just physically a different player when you see him in person. I mean, I've been in your position, Dar, up in the booth for this season. You see him in warm-ups and you see him on the field. It's different. He stepped out right in front of me here at the 1. He was pleading his case, just no call on that one. He was out at the 1, but he clearly is a physical back. I mean, he is headed to the University of Iowa. He took over the game against Cedar Falls with a big play before half that kind of got the Hawks back into it. Look for a mix of Bruce here, but then don't be afraid to see possibly Jace Bauer run this play. He's been an effective runner as well in his career.
So Bauer brings him out. He'll have Bruce in the backfield with him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. McCullough to the right here. He goes down, stops, and turns around, and then it's thrown wide as he just went quick down and turn around Smith out there on coverage.
And if you're Waukee, that's going to be the recipe on passing downs, getting pressure on Jace Bauer. Do not let him set his feet and throw the football where he is comfortable. Get him moving outside of the pocket where your secondary could have another chance at guarding those receivers downfield.
We keep saying big third down, but it is a big third down here early for the Waukee defense if they can get Ankeny stopped and get the ball back in the hands of their offense. Bauer trips left. Dropping straight back, looking. Little pressure now. He'll have to try to roll out of it. Ryland is going to try to chase him down. Bauer runs up and he'll get the first down. He outruns Ryland on defense, and he'll get up to the 47-yard line for the first down. So,
just as we talked about getting pressure on him, he may have heard me because he thought it was coming, and he evaded to the left, got himself a first down there for Ankeny. Nice job, Jace Bauer.
Yeah, I think I saw him listening to us on the phone down there, so he probably did hear you say that.
Yeah.
I'm always listening down here, guys.
I know we're talking about Bauer, but Breck moves over, and we got trips to the right. Hand off to Bruce, left side. He cuts it up to about the 50, where he'll be dropped just shy of the 50 on the first down carry. He gets maybe 3. Morrison in on the tackle for Waukee.
You know, Bruce is such an intriguing prospect to me because obviously he's committed to Iowa to play receiver. But we just saw him right there on an inside zone. We've seen him twice before stick his foot in the ground and show his explosiveness. He showed a little Le'Veon Bell patience right there waiting behind the line to sneak through there.
Plus, we know what they've been able to do with defensive backs, too. Those guys that, here's a handoff to him, and he's pulled down this time. Good job in there by Chase Evanson, the linebacker. Just kind of smothered him after a pickup of a yard. And he brings up a 3rd and 5 now for this Waukee defense at the 49. Ankeny 3 to the right for Bauer. And Arlen Bruce in the backfield. Looks like they might be changing the play up here as you see him. Now goes down, pitches it to Bruce, and quick close on him. He makes one guy whiff, but he's not going to quite get the first down. He juked Garrett Morris and got by him, but he's going to be a couple yards shy of the first down. You in the territory we go for it here, or do you try to punt and get Waukee back deep?
Well, it looks like we've got a player down, but offensively, if I'm Ankeny here, the momentum's in your hands. I'd go for it here on a short 4th and 2. 4th and 2.
What are you thinking, Paul?
That's a good play. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened. We were talking about how Ankeny checked out of that play, and I'm trying to see who it is that's even down.
Yeah, it's on the far side there, and all the action came to this side of the field. So
Weston Folk is who's down.
Weston Folk.
So he's the tight end. He's a guy that they sometimes try to mix in. Last week, key against Cedar Falls was getting your tight end in the mix. They've also been using him on defense, trying to get some pressure, and I'd assume we would have probably seen him in that next drive. So we'll try to keep an eye on this one. He is not stepping on the left foot. That's what he held up.
That's number 82, Weston Folk.
He is putting pressure on both of those feet as he walks off, but we'll see how long he sits.
Okay, they're going to get him out of there, and as you say, he's really ginger on that foot right now. And so 4th and 2, looks like the offense coming back out. And for Ankeny, 10-16 to play. First half, they're up 14-0, trying to keep the drive alive. 2 receivers each side. Bruce in the backfield. They split him out, and he catches it out in the flat on just a quick little drop off to him out there, and first down. Good play call.
And, man, Ankeny seems to always have an answer for something here on this drive.
They've converted several third downs now, and now they have first down and 10 at the 38. Bauer and Bruce in the backfield.
I really like this trips look from Ankeny. They see that safety's high off of Bruce, and you can do a simple RPO, or there you go, swing it out.
Now he swings it out, and it's a little – that might be a lateral. He's going to go down. No, they're going to say it's incomplete. Almost on our line up here, looked like it might have been straight across.
It did, and if you're Ankeny, you got to jump on that just to be safe, but he may have heard the whistle down there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They might have blown it quickly.
They blew that thing pretty quickly. I'm not in a position to see. You are better if that was forward, but man, I can hear the Waukee sideline.
Yeah,
they really thought that was backwards.
We could see it right down the line. It looked like it was either backwards or straight across here. But anyway, it's 2nd and 10 at the 38. Trips left, double right. They get Breck spinning out of there, Ryland in. And now under pressure, he throws it late down the field and incomplete. As also Morris Kona in there on the pressure. The 6 foot, 223-pound junior. Ryland had a big game last week. He recovered that block punt, and there's a flag down on the far side of the field over there. Let's see what this is. And it's going to come back for Ankeny, so holding.
Against Ankeny.
So second penalty against Ankeny. And that'll move it back. 2nd and 25. Back to the 47. So a big penalty there. And that's that pressure that, Flynn, we've seen a lot out of this front guys here for Waukee, but they're starting to get a little bit more of that on Bauer now.
Since that last week of Urbandale, we really started to see that D-line click, and they look really good right now. Let's hope they keep that momentum going for this Waukee D.
Now, Ankeny, they got to figure out a 2nd and 25 play here. They're going to take a timeout. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more after this on CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Back here at Waukee.
Pleasant Valley 14, Iowa City West 7.
Pleasant Valley 14, Iowa City West 7. They're reading some scores now.
13, Cedar Rapids Kennedy 0.
What did you say, Polk?
Polk 14.
14-0 over Kennedy. Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Well, it's 14-0 here at Ankeny, 9:30 to play in the first half. They just got a holding penalty. They're back at 2nd 25 at the Waukee 47 as the Waukee defense trying to get a stop here. Ankeny was going with the wind to start out. Now they're going into it. Arlen Bruce has been in the backfield doing a lot of the damage. He had a 39-yard run and then took it in from 1 yard out on their second possession. High snap, and it pops right out of the hands of Bauer into Bruce's hands. He tries to throw it, and it's almost picked off by Smith. Wow.
Man, I don't know the legality behind that, but I saw about 4 or 5 offensive linemen 3 to 4 yards down the field. I'm very surprised that they didn't get an illegal pass on that play.
Yeah, and the snap came hard back off of Bruce's hands and Bauer's hands right into Arlen Bruce, and then he rolls right, throws it down, and Smith was right there. And not if the receiver hadn't knocked that away. So we got 3rd down and 25 at the 47. Trips to the left. Fake to Bruce, throw it out to Brecht. He's open, got some open field out there, and he's hit, though, by Morris and pulled down. Will be short of the first down. They get a little bit of that back.
Garrett Morris made the tackle, number 4. Chase Evanson in on that tackle.
Morris ends up getting the tackle. So bring up 4th down. Here and about 14.
I was a little confused there as to what the doubt was to punt here.
Yeah,
on 4th and 15. But
yeah, you're at the 48. Morrison back deep to receive. Colin Riggs. And they're going to get a false start penalty, I think. Procedure. So that's a 3rd penalty against Ankeny. Waukee just won, holding. So that'll move it back for the punter. That kind of maybe helps you a little bit to try to deaden it back there deep. Now Waukee sends a lineman in late. High snap, but there's no pressure on it, and this one's going to bounce over at the 20. Gets a good Ankeny bounce. It'll roll inside the 15 down to about the 13.
Very friendly bounce there for the punter.
So that'd be a 27-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 13 for Waukee. Let's see what they come out here and do.
And only a 14-point deficit with 8:25 here in the second. I don't think the urgency needs to pick up yet. Stick with the offensive game plan and try to execute it.
Trips left, handoff to Lindquist. Plows right up the middle. He'll get a couple. Just leans up to the 15. And again, we've seen that. They'll pound it in the middle and then look to the outside. You got Smith, Hundley, and Sadat wide to the left. Stout to the right. And Lindquist back there with Holcomb. He looks to go straight out to Stout on the out route. He catches at the 20, tries to break the tackle. He leans ahead. He may have gotten the first down. He did. They're going to give it to him. Great lean by Stout.
Great second effort there by the wide receiver. He was not going to go down on first contact. You love to see that from the wide receiver.
Dale Stout makes the catch. Same formation here. Trips left. Stout, the single receiver to the right, and Lindquist. Now Holcomb is pointing out the blitzer there. Snap, drops back, looks, throws it over the head as Stout was covered well out there. Cooper Cox was out there on him. And that'll be 2nd and 10 at the 23 now. For Waukee. They look to the sideline. It's time to have Sadat in tight on the slot, and he'll go in motion. To the right. Lindquist tries to follow him into the hole, but there is no hole as
Manis on the tackle, number 3.
shooting right in there is Brecken Manis, the linebacker, and stopped him.
And nothing going there again for the run for Waukee, but brings up a 3rd and 12 situation in this trips formation. I'd love to see them attack this safety.
Trips left, single receiver right. Holcomb rolling. He gets some blocks, throws it, has Smith. Smith makes a shoestring catch and almost breaks the tackle there, Breck. But went down low throw and scooped it off the turf at the 35 and carries it up to the 38. And 1st and 10 Waukee.
As a receiver, that's about as hard of a catch as you can get, Dar. You're coming across the field, and that ball is coming at you, and it almost feels like you're going to meet the ball. So not only was it a great catch, great job after the catch, securing a couple extra yards for himself.
Waukee up again. This time they have Sadat tight to the formation, 2 receivers to the left. And Lindquist will take it, and he's roped up right away as soon as he gets the ball there.
The ball carrier.
And
Sean Gavin, number 13 on the tackle.
Gavin on the tackle for Ankeny. Picks up 3.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
And that's one thing you like about Lindquist. Even when he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, usually he'll carry it forward and get at least a yard or 2 on that.
I think everybody in here was convinced that was going to be a tackle for loss, and like you said, Lindquist does the rest.
Now they readjust that football. They got Stout and Smith to the left, Lindquist behind Holcomb. And fakes to Lindquist, looking for the out route to Smith. Now Holcomb finds room up the middle. He'll run there, slips one tackle, and then gets brought down. As Gavin drew a bead on him, and he was able to kind of slip under that, and then gets pulled down.
And talk about a challenge for a young quarterback. I've seen Ankeny's secondary now go into this roll look where they show one secondary coverage and then immediately roll pre-snap. That's going to make Holcomb's job extremely hard when he gets his eyes back up.
3rd and 5 at the 44. He doesn't run a lot, and usually it's there when he sees a little room.
For the Warriors.
3rd and 4. They got Sadat there. Smith comes in tight on the left. Lindquist behind Holcomb. They fake to him, looking for Smith, and then he's going to be pulled down by Bryce Peterson. They were looking for that quick out to Smith, but they had pretty good coverage out there in the flat.
A little miscommunication somewhere along that play. There was immediate pressure in the backfield. I don't think the protection was picked up the way it was supposed to be.
So another stop defensively here for Ankeny. They send Breck and Bruce back to receive the punt of Garrett Schmidt. And they'll go back to around their 20 with the wind behind Schmidt right now. Good snap. And, oh, they pushed the man is blocked into him, so that won't be a penalty. And now Breck comes up the right sideline, 35, and it'll be pushed out of bounds the 39-yard line.
A good return there by number 11, but my eyes were down here on the punter. It appeared someone ran into him, Dart. Did you happen to see that?
Paul, did you see what happened there?
Which play? On the
punt. It was blocked into him,
yeah, he was
wasn't it?
blocked into him. The white hat, Dave Rittman, called it the whole way. He's like, he's blocked into him, he's blocked into him. He was very deliberate about that. You know, that's one thing with officiating, you know, Dar, we've seen over years. If you're going to make that call, make the call and be confident in it. And he called it. There was no hesitation in that play. Bryce Peterson on the play before on 3rd down. He came around the edge, and so did Brock Chido up the middle. Waukee has struggled to block up the middle and also to contain Peterson. Peterson has made two of the 3 plays of that drive. Now, Waukee has had some openings. Look for the tight end. He has been open on some of those plays, but right now Waukee is looking up at that board going, hey, we got the wind. We just can't seem to put a consistent offense. It just, from my vantage point down here, Dar, Waukee is struggling to find any type of flow.
Yeah, they just haven't. They had a little better flow going the other way here, but now 4:04 to play first half. They got the ball back to Ankeny, and Flynn, you really got to hold them out of the end zone here, because we talked about it. 14 looks doable, but when you get into 21, you know, then it's so far now, depending on what they make of the halftime adjustments, but you don't want to have to play from behind too far against these guys.
You do not, especially with a team like Ankeny, who we've seen can score on one run play, one pass deep. And right now, like we talked about, Paul talked about on the sideline, Ankeny is in such a flow. They're getting up to the ball. They're confidently calling their plays. What I love from Ankeny's offense, too, is what they're capable of doing is almost giving half-field reads for Jace. So pre-snap, he calls a kind of a route concept to a 3-receiver set or two-receiver set, and he looks at that side and goes right to it. If he doesn't like what he has the ability to run and extend the play. Ankeny is in that flow. I want to see Waukee try to find that here on this drive.
Shout out to Coach Wims and the Ankeny volleyball team. They took the Class 5A title there over at Cedar Rapids and went through and won that title. It's been 10 years since they've won a volleyball title, but he gets, I think that's 5-4 like him. I'll get it wrong off the top of my head, but it was nice talking to him and over there as they played. Now here's Bauer, hands off inside to Bruce. Bruce slips a couple tackles on, cuts it up the middle, 45, and did a lot of running and juking for a 7-yard pickup, but you keep moving forward.
And his start-stopping ability is very, very, very clearly better than the rest. You know, I cannot wait to see what he does at Iowa as a receiver in those start-stop moments.
This time he's got receiver to each side, sends a man in motion. That's Brack. They fake it to him, and Bruce leading blocking for Bauer, and he's going to be pulled down, though, as Waukee defended that pretty well. Trying to go a little misdirection, bringing Brecht across, and then Bruce, the lead blocker. But he did pick up one, so it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 48 for Ankeny. 3:10 and counting here in the first half. They lead 14-0 over Waukee. Warriors have played pretty well defensively for what position they've been put in, but offensively they're not able to get any sustained drives. Here's the rush, and inside, Ryland finally gets to him and brings him down.
And there's that pressure we've been waiting to see all night, Dar. Finally end up with that sack, put him in a bad situation. Pocket collapses. Good job by the Waukee D-line.
Aiden Gutierrez in there too, and we got a Waukee player down, holding his ankle there a little bit. I don't know if that's Ryland. He might have got stepped on by Gutierrez as they were trying to pull the quarterback down. God, you hate to see that with Blair.
Dar, I got an injury update here for you.
Yep, all
right, so you've got one injury for Waukee. Weston Folk is still on the sideline here. They had his sock and shoe off of his left foot. It was bare. They're retaping it, but guys have been coming over and looking at him, just trying to get a little bit of an update and say, hey, man, hang in there. So look for number 10, Braden Simonson has been playing. Make sure I got my guys right here. Yeah, Braden Simonson, the junior, 6'3", 225, playing that tight end role. He is a former tight end, played tight end last year, but they moved him to the defensive side of the ball to take advantage of an open athletic spot. Also on the other play, the second down play, I think Arlen Bruce maybe didn't quite have the playbook down the way the coaching staff would like it. They were telling him that he's got to do something different. They said, AB, you got to do something different there on that play. So
was that, you mean when they brought Brecht and then went back the other way, was he supposed to take the handoff or something?
Yeah, that could have been what it was. Yeah, kind of like a counter. They sometimes flash across the middle on that one. And then on that sack, that was great pressure right up the middle. Waukee's been getting a lot of pressure up the middle tonight, and that ankle is still, they're holding the right ankle for the Waukee player there at about the 45-yard line, and is
that Ryland, I think, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You got a better chance at the number than I do. But
I can't tell, but let's do this. While they're working on him, let's just take a break. We'll do that. 14-0 Ankeny, 2:46 to play first half here on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Save thousands now at Shattenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Shattenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here at Waukee, still working on the Waukee player who's down there on the field. Dar Danielson, Flynn Heald, Paul Yeager down on the sidelines tonight. And I tell you, Paul, that guy's lucky. He picks the one night when there's a 70-degree November to be on the sideline where he doesn't have to wear gloves or stocking cap or anything down there.
Hey, it's not my first rodeo, Dar. It's not, I mean, I wouldn't have volunteered for this if I'd have known what the weather forecast was. I got to give shout out Jeff Brooks, the sideline guy I use. I had to put him out on that couple of those cold nights, and he had hand warmers, and I would not have made it. I do have one Carhartt coat in the car if it does get to that point. So, no, the wind is still a factor down here, and right now Ankeny is going to have to punt this football away. Waukee with 2:46 right here. You've got to get a couple of possessions, a couple of first downs on this possession to give yourself some type of momentum, because, frankly, that offense, I think I talked about it the last time, the flow is just not quite there. I mean, I saw Waukee earlier this season, and they had a great offense that night, but there's both these teams, both defenses have been hitting real hard tonight and really kind of keeping things honest, keeping everybody honest. Well,
we can see the flag straight across on the other side of the stadium here from where we're at. We're on the west side, on the east side. They're still standing straight out there, the W Waukee flag, so it is still blowing pretty good.
Yeah, it is, and in the passing, both of these guys, Holcomb can really zip a ball, and so can Bauer. These guys really, you wouldn't think it would be a factor, but when you're not practicing in it. But here's the thing, guys, got to remember, it is November for a game to go to the semifinals. This could easily be 40 degrees, 30 degrees, 20 degrees, and this wind, and would be typical. So now we're seeing a hand, and that right shoe is off. There is no weight on Ryland's right foot.
And that's a big loss for them. The 6'3", 243-pound junior. He's he had a whale of a game last week there at the defensive end spot. And they do have some depth there on the line, but when you lose a top starter like that, and he's been, he helped turn up the pressure inside there with Gutierrez, and hopefully he can be back. I don't know. It's hard to say when he comes over, like you say, with no putting any weight on there. But so 4th and 6 at the 43 here for Ankeny. Back to is Morrison. Joe Morrison is back, anticipating the punt here at the 30. Aaron Smith is in there. He's the guy who lines up on the outside. He blocked that one last week.
After the sack by Ryland, it's
And
4th down, Ankeny.
Ankeny comes out in offensive formation like they're going to go for it here. Let's see if they do go for it. Now Waukee, they force Waukee to take a timeout, which is big because they lose one of those timeouts with 2:08 to play here. And
maybe a little bit of chess playing there by Ankeny's coaching staff, forcing the hand of Waukee to call the timeout.
And sometimes we've seen in the past, last year Waukee would have the quarterback pooch punted a little bit, out of that pistol or shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
When you look like you come up and you try to draw them. But so they come out and they line up like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 6, and then they wait till the play clock runs down. Then Waukee calls a timeout because they're unsure what's going to happen there. And you're playing to go over to the Unidome in the semifinals, so.
And I know both these teams are playing to get to the Dome, but I can't help but feel the way both these teams are playing and the way the seasons unfold, both these teams are very capable of playing in that Dome.
Yeah. And then, too, for Ankeny, we talked about 21. They'd like to get to that because then that makes it that much easier. But now they're going to go into punt formation here. Joe Morrison back deep at his 27 to receive for Waukee. And that you can see how that ball hangs up into the wind. Morrison comes up and takes it at the 29. So there's where Waukee will take it. 2:02 to play here in the first half. We'll have 1st and 10 at the 29. He talked about that tight end, Paul and Flynn. We'll see if they can find him or if they can break Smith free out there. Arlen Bruce is going to come out and pick him up in coverage. Smith and Bruce out here as they go trips to the left, Waukee. Lindquist is a single back. Route back, he'll throw it out. Quick out to Stout. Stout spins through out of the tackle. 45, 50, down to the 40. Big move by Dale Stout on the spinner. And he's into Ankeny territory down to the 39-yard line.
Great individual play there by Stout. Great job getting yards after the catch and really building onto this momentum for Waukee. You've practiced this 2-minute drill plenty of times during the week. Now go execute.
Now they go into tempo. 22-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 39 for Waukee. Fakes to Lindquist. Throwing deep and over the head. Good coverage back there. Was looking for Stout up the right side, but well covered. He took a look to his left first to Smith and decided I'm going to go to Stout on the other side. And not a bad shot to take, though, although that was, with the coverage, a little dangerous. 2nd and 10. At the 39. This time you got Stout and Smith to the left. Sadat comes in motion across the formation, right to left. Fake to Lindquist. They throw it to Smith on the screen, and it comes out of there and almost picked off by Crandall.
Incomplete.
Falls incomplete, so they were trying to get the ball to Smith in space.
And we had a real early whistle on that swing pass to Bruce on that straight line. I don't think they blew the whistle there until they made contact right there with defense.
So now 3rd and 10 at the 39. This might be 4-down territory for Waukee. Here, trips to the left for Holcomb. Lindquist behind him. Smith is wide down at the bottom of the screen. Pressure, Holcomb. Whoa, no, he didn't get a roll out of it. He's going to get pulled down there by big number 28. Tandem Webb Tate. 6'2", 215-pounder. Pulls him down.
And that's how you disrupt a 2-minute offense right there by Ankeny's defense. Get a sack, force a timeout. And it looks like the clock's still rolling. They better stop that.
It is still going, and now
I guess there wasn't a timeout.
Nope, Ankeny isn't stopping it, and the punter will come out. And they'll send Bruce and Breck back deep. And they're back around. Well, now they're dropping inside the 20, realizing with the wind, back to the 15, and good pressure on the punt. This one's going to go all the way into the end zone. He nailed that one, which isn't a bad play, really. Ankeny will take over 1st and 10 at the 20.
So, Dar, on that play, think of what Waukee had that opportunity. They had a good first down set there, but the blindside pressure of Ankeny has made a huge difference tonight from that backside. Now, if you got Arlen Bruce on your team, 42 seconds, I would assume 14's getting the ball here, right?
Yeah, I would think you try one handoff to him, maybe come out and you do a draw, or something. Especially going into the win.
You're up 14, you're on your own 20. Just hand the ball off to 14, let him make a play. And if he does put you into a situation where you can then get right into a hurry up, go for it.
There's Bruce, left side, sneaks through the 20, 25, splits another tackle up to the 32-yard line. Boy, it's like Paul's right in the huddle down there.
And now I anticipate them to really start to pick up this tempo, have a little more sense of urgency, try to get some points in with 35 seconds.
1st and 10 at the 32. Ankeny, 30 seconds and counting. Dropping straight back. Got the go route up the left side to Breck. He catches it, pulls it in at the 31. Had to wait to see if he came down with it, but he went up high and pulled it down for the catch.
It looked like a little bit of Megatron there if I've seen it. He went up there, high pointed at its highest point, brought it down. Great hands catch. You got to love that if you're a receiver fan.
1st and 10 at the 32 now. They go from their 32 to Waukee's 32. 36-yard play. And we're seeing a shot of the bench there. Waukee, some down guys there at this moment is still 24 seconds. They do have one timeout left, Ankeny. Time to take a couple shots at least here.
Well, but remember, Tar, you're not exactly in field goal position either right now.
No.
You are going to have to try to score balls on the near hash straight into that wind. 10 to 12, maybe 15. It actually has died just a tiny little bit since earlier.
And I see, Pelham is 3 of 7, 25 is his longest, but I imagine they haven't had to kick a lot of field goals, have they?
And he's actually had some consistency issues against TJ in that first playoff game that Ankeny had. Actually missed a couple of extra points, and Coach Nelson said last week, he's like, hey, kicking, it's a mental thing, but if it's the difference of because remember, if that's blocked and returned, I think you're going to run the ball or throw it again, something quick out.
McCullough and Breck to the right side. Arlen Bruce in the backfield with Jace Bauer here, dropping straight back, looking wide open. Bruce, he's going to walk into the end zone untouched, right down the seam from 32 yards out. And now a penalty flag is down.
Hold on, just
it's going to be on Ankeny. They had a guy on the field, I think.
Well, Waukee gets saved there because there was a busted coverage. Arlen Bruce ran straight down the middle of the field free.
Ineligible player downfield. A big penalty there. 4th penalty. Yeah, you're right. Bruce went right down that left hash, and there was nobody there. He caught it in about the 17 and walked right in.
And that's a huge changer right there because the clock's still milked. You only got 18 now, and you're backed up. It's going to lead to some interesting play calls here now.
2 receivers right, 1 left.
And they'll take a shot.
So they go deep up the left side. Smith there to knock it away at the last second. Aaron Smith on coverage of Brecht. And he knocks that one down.
And as a receiver and a quarterback, we learn about this imaginary line called the red line. It splits the bottom of the numbers of the sideline. as a receiver, if you get walled wider than that red line, you don't give the quarterback much of a chance to drop a ball in. Aaron Smith pushed him into that zone, forced him to throw the ball out of bounds, making a tough throw.
It's a 2nd and 15 here for Ankeny. Cade Summers to the right, dropping back. Bauer looking, now he throws it upfield and it's high and knocked down over there by Morrison. And is there going to be a flag on that or no? I think there is. Unnecessary roughness, it may be over there.
Yeah, they got Simonson real good. Smith came under, kind of took his feet out, hit him real good, and now Simonson's down. Remember, he is the backup tight end that's been playing for Weston Folk. So now you got these last 6 seconds without either tight end. You're going to have to go to your third string guy. A lot of it, I think, is wind right now that maybe knocked him out. But this 15 yards, that's a huge play, though, with 6 seconds.
Yeah, because the pass was high, and Simonson's credit, he went up high to get it, but then the defender came in and undercut him. And now there's 6 seconds to go. They're calling. Of course, the Waukee fans don't like it at all.
Yeah, we're definitely hearing it from the purple right now, but I also have to disagree with that call. He was an eligible receiver. He made a play on the football. I don't think anything was ill intent.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he jacked him hard. He came underneath him.
It wasn't finished out of bounds. I thought it was a good, clean football play, but the refs disagreed.
I don't know. Did it look better? Worse? Probably it looked worse up here, Paul, but I know on field level what it looked like to you.
Right, and it's one of those, it looks worse than maybe it was just because of the way that he landed, just because, as you said, Dar, he went up as high as he could for that ball, so your momentum isn't, your center of gravity isn't there, and it just looks more of a dramatic play when you go under. But, man, it was a good hit on the outside, but you could clearly tell when the official was starting to make the signal that the whole purple and black side was – They didn't like what was coming because I don't think they saw what happened over here.
No, it was on the far side of the field, and all the Waukee fans are here, and there is a good contingent of Ankeny fans on the far side too here tonight. And so 6 seconds, Waukee trying to hold off another score. And here, let's see, that'd be a 39-yard field goal into the wind. So that's, as you said, with the kicking issues, that's probably not a possibility, but you just send everybody into the end zone and hope for a jump ball.
6 seconds left. Even more than sending everyone in the same direction, what I'd love to see them do is get Brody Breck into a space where it's only him and one other guy. Give the best player on the field, the tallest player on the field, the opportunity to go high point it. If not that, maybe a short pass to the boundary here to, get another play in with 3 seconds where you're in a little more manageable situation. But we'll see what they do here.
Trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Bruce in the backfield. Bruce goes straight out of the backfield. He's heading toward the corner. They throw it down to the 2-yard line, and it's knocked away. That'll be the last play of the first half. And again, good coverage back there by Morrison and Smith. And that was Brecht. But, that was a good, he catches that. He's got a chance to maybe rustle into the end zone.
Yep, and they went to their two-man game where they sent the tailback on a wheel route and had Brody Breck kind of run that slant vertical concept. So it's basically a switch, and Jace went to Brody Breck. Great coverage there by Joe Morrison, and is that Smith?
Smith. And it's funny how Bruce is in the backfield, but he's down the field almost as far as the other receivers by the time he comes out of there.
That's that step we've seen all game.
So we're at halftime here, 14-0 Ankeny. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with our Iowa Corn halftime show after this on CISN.TV.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
At Schottenkirk Ford in Indianola, an all-time sales record in September means you'll save thousands as we try to break the record again. Get up to $14,000 off new 2020 Ford F-150 XLTs, up to $8,000 off new 2020 Ford Escapes. Our certified used vehicles come with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Why Schottenkirk Ford? Our core values: hard work, trust, honesty, and integrity. Hurry in. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, schottenkirkford.com.
At Mid-American Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
Here at Waukee, it's halftime. Ankeny leading Waukee 14-0 on our Iowa Corn Halftime Show. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Support Iowa's corn farmers. Dar Danielson, Flynn Heald, Paul Yeager is with us down on the sidelines. And early on, Ankeny forced a punt by Waukee, and a 31-yard Arlen Bruce run took it in, and PAT was good. It was 7-0. Then they forced another punt that got the ball at the 40. Bruce broke off a 39-yard run and was stopped at the 1. He didn't think he was, but they marked him down at the 1. Then they put him in motion, and it looked like maybe they're setting up for it was like, 3rd and 1, the jet sweep, but then he sneaks up under center, takes a snap, and sneaks it right in from 1 yard out with 5:22 to play in the first quarter. That's been all the scoring, which, well, I'm a little surprised. I thought we might be a little better scoring, but Waukee had a little trouble going into the wind, and then, well, even with the wind, they've had a little trouble getting that offense going tonight.
Yeah, when we saw the early 2 drives from Ankeny resulted in the 7 points, but since that second quarter started, we knew this going into the game, but it was going to be both defensive lines and offensive lines applying that pressure to the quarterbacks, and it's pretty much stalemated things to zeros in the second quarter. I really look to see which one of these offenses can open back up, get back into into a flow, and find their playmakers to make those plays.
And Paul Yeager, maybe a missed opportunity here at the end of the first half for Ankeny. They had that a touchdown to Bruce, but called back a man downfield illegally, and then they had a pass into Brack. But what'd you see on those 2 plays?
Well, those 2 plays at the end of the first half were, just like you said, I think Bruce was so wide open on that play, and the sideline, the Ankeny sideline, was kind of like, hey, what do you mean that was the call? And Coach Nelson told me right as he was going into halftime, he says, yeah, I just wish we had one more touchdown. And on that last play, Bruce was kind of taken out of bounds, and he wanted that call. Didn't get that one. I think Waukee coaches, I got to tell you, it took a long time to huddle before they went in to discuss their second half strategy. So I think Waukee's going to have to make some adjustments. They've got to figure out a way to get either Stout or Lindquist into this game a little bit more.
And we did see them, was it last week? They came back after halftime and came out real strong. And talking with the Coach Carlson, he said, yeah, we made some mistakes. We knew it. We came back out, bear down, and they're going to have to do that here tonight against this Ankeny team. As haven't heard much on Aaron Smith tonight, but part of that is that Arlen Bruce has been out him. We have heard from him on defense. He's been playing a pretty stellar defensive game on Brody Brecht out there, Flynn, but offensively they haven't been able to get him the ball much. He tried a couple screens, had one pass down, but Ankeny's been doing a good job of shutting him off.
They've attempted screens. They put him in the backfield to run the ball. We've seen him on special teams as well. We're going to have to get away. We're going to have to find a way as Waukee to get Aaron Smith the ball here in the second half. 14 points down, you need an explosive play. Look for Aaron Smith to do that. I'd also like to see Sadat get a little more involved. Mm-hmm. We've seen Waukee utilize RPOs where you have an inside zone look with a tight end running kind of a hitch or a stop route. Get back to that. It's been working for you throughout the season. I'd love to see them work on that.
And Sadat, when you get him rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and he's moving over guys, that just fires everybody up. And, but so far he hasn't been able to touch the ball much here. And when he does, he's physical, and that sometimes sparks that offense, gets him going.
And Waukee's done a good job of trying to consistently grind the rock. But you're going to have to set up the run with passing. That's oftentimes what we see is we see run to set up the pass. They're going to have to utilize the pass to set up those run lanes for Lindquist because they've been really, really voided by that Ankeny's interior 7.
So 2 first-half touchdowns by Ankeny and no scoring then, or 2 first quarters touchdowns, I should say, and then in the first half, but no scoring in the second quarter there, although Ankeny had it down there and a chance in the red zone, but unable to convert. We're here at halftime. Winner will go on to the Unidome into the semifinals, and so we'll see what adjustments they make in the second half. We'll take another break. We'll come back with more. You're watching the Iowa Corn Halftime Show here on CISN.TV.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and this has been a crazy year. We might just run out of furniture, but we still have a great selection right now. We have wicker, we have fire pits, we have poly, and if you want something for your deck this year, you should come see us right now. Still have the greatest selection in Iowa at the best prices. Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas, just west of Homemaker.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way, and from a safe distance away, delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
Back at halftime at Waukee, Dar Danielson, Flynn Hill, Paul Yeager on the sideline. Our cameraman Randy enjoying the nice weather out there. He's been out there chattering the last couple weeks. Last week wasn't too bad, but a few of those nights it gets cold, and it's kind of tough when you got to be outside in the cold and run the cameras and that.
T-shirt and jeans weather. I think Randy's loving it.
Yeah. Well, it was two first-half scores after Ankeny forced 2 punts, and then Arlen Bruce took it in from 31 yards out. Then again, they forced a punt, got it at the 40. And Bruce went 39 yards and then came in on the sneak and for 1 yard out, and that's where we stand right now. 14 nothing. And you mentioned we started to see pressure out of both teams here. For Waukee, how did they get out of that pressure and get the ball down the field in the receiver's hands?
Yeah, again, I think going back to what works for you early in the game, which was some of those RPO plays where you have the option to run and pass. Getting Holcomb also on play actions early on first down where Ankeny is suspecting a run play and getting him into perimeter space, getting the ball to guys like Hayden Huntley, guys like Dale Stout, guys like Eddie Sadat, is going to get his confidence up to throw the ball deeper down the field and hopefully get that offense into the flow that we've been looking for Waukee to get into.
Talked about getting it into Aaron Smith's hands. We've seen him a few times this year. He goes into the Wildcat and runs it. I don't know if they'll try that at all, or we haven't really seen them with the jet sweep too much either so far here tonight trying to get it to him.
I'd love to see Aaron Smith get one of those jet sweeps. His best attribute as a player is when he's in space. So if you can get him the football on the perimeter, that's what's going to really benefit him the most.
And are you back with us down there, Paul?
I'm always with you. You just got to give me a chance to get my microphone.
Well, yeah, I know. I didn't want to go to you if you were like
I was doing my hair,
taking a break. Yeah, these TV guys.
We always got to take our hair. I'm looking for Coach Scott Carlson here. I'm going to buzz him once he comes out here. I haven't seen him come out of that locker room, but I got to tell you, tight ends. It's such a key part of the Iowa Hawkeye offense. It's going to have to be a part of this Waukee offense. They've got to figure out a way to get them involved, either in a run game, in a passing situation, and you got to figure out a way, because if you can get beyond where, say, maybe a end or a linebacker is blitzing, if you're Waukee, that creates an opening. Find a single, lineup, one-on-one type thing. Right now, they just don't have that play that's working. So,
yeah, and that might also give Holcomb a little more confidence. He completes a couple of those, and then he's, because right now he's dropping back to pass, and he's looking, and he doesn't have much time to go through many reads back there.
No, and he doesn't have a time. I was waiting for you to say looking through the third time, because he doesn't have 3 seconds.
No, he looks outside to Smith, and then he maybe looks back to Hundley, and if it's not there, then he's got to decide, do I pull it down or do I run for my life, or what do I do here? So, yeah.
Yep. All right, I'll talk to you in a minute. I'm going to try to track down Coach and be right, get you some new info.
Okay. Well, you see Ankeny coming out of the locker room on the far side, as they got to be feeling pretty good right now here. They will they get the ball, right, to start the second half because they deferred.
Yep.
So they'll get the ball.
The message in the locker room for Ankeny must be, let's get back to what worked in the first quarter. That sense of urgency, that tempo where we're lining up on the ball, getting plays in, getting guys the ball, and a balanced run and pass opportunity to where you can leave the Waukee defense guessing. If you're Ankeny, you look to get right back into what you were able to accomplish in the first quarter.
Waukee has been a good third quarter team coming out of the locker room making the adjustments, so we'll see what they do. We saw Southeast Polk was up like 23-0, I think, on the Cedar Rapids there, so we know that Dowling advances because of the COVID issue with Valley, so Dowling will be into the semifinals for 8 straight years now. 7 of those have gone on to take home the big trophy. And but one of these teams would like nothing more than to end that streak for Dowling.
And I think both teams are very capable. If you're Ankeny, you're going to obviously utilize the deep ball, utilize Arlen Bruce and your weapons. If you're Waukee, you're going to continue to utilize the offensive structure you have, the big guys that are able to make a difference both offensive and defensively. Right now in this game, this is do or die for Waukee. So you obviously went inside, made some adjustments, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to heart and will for you to drive your way back into this game. I'm looking forward to seeing Waukee try that.
Clock winding down on the final warm-ups here, and the nice thing about this weather is you don't have to worry too much. Although when it's in the 40s or so, it's not bad out there playing when you got all the stuff on. It is when you come to the sideline, sit down after being out there, but football players with all the gear on, you don't get quite as cold. It's the parents sitting in the stands on those nights when it gets down to the 40s and 30s where they're the ones that have to be the stalwarts out there.
It's the parents and all the retired football players that are complaining about the 40-degree weather. Everyone on that field, blood's flowing, adrenaline's going. Most of those guys are getting a lot of snaps as well, so they're probably not feeling too much of that weather.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, down here it is still kind of windy, but it's resolved a little bit. Waukee will get the ball to start the second half, and what Coach Scott Carlson just told me, he's like, we have got to figure out a way to get into the flow. I didn't think I'd actually be on the same page as him, but he's like, we have to figure out a way to get guys going. I said, what was your assessment of your first half grade? He goes, C-, and that's mostly because of the other team. He said Ankeny's been giving them a lot of fits, and they're just trying to figure out how to get some guys going and feel a little bit better, get some confidence.
And as we've seen with them, one big play, with the playmaker Lindquist, or last week it was Lindquist, they came out in the second half and he busted that big play up the middle to run, and it's been Smith also. You hit him and he makes a move and, breaks off a big chunk play, and that's really got this offense going.
And if Waukee has the third quarter that we know they're capable of having, that they've had over the past 2 weeks, we may be seeing a situation here where, we may see Waukee come back here pretty quickly, and I'd love to see how they utilize that momentum.
Yeah, and talking about that first game, 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, Waukee came back and won it. That's got to be in their mind, and maybe it's in the back of Ankeny's mind, But, again, all these seniors got to be thinking this could be the last game of my career here, and Waukee, the whole last one school thing. And man, again, I'm just glad. I know, Paul, you are, and Flynn, we're just out here watching, getting to call football, and it keeps me young seeing these kids out there and the excitement and all that. It's just I'm glad we got the season going, and it's been fairly safe and everything.
Oh, Dar, you are young. Come on now.
Well, not as young as I used to be, but as the clock winding down here. And this is audio only tonight here live, but we will have the video up for the replay for you as soon as the game's over. Because of the rights rules, we can't show the video here, so you just get to hear us, but you'll get to see all the play if you want to watch it back at home and see if Yeager was right or not, what he was calling when you look at the video, and go over it again and break it down,
Yeah, and the stakes are high here with, 1 quarter to go. If you're Waukee, you're down 14. The only opportunity that you have to play in the Dome is right here in this half. Go make something happen.
So a few penalties. Let's see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 on Ankeny, 2 on Waukee, but a big lineman downfield, or a man downfield, and that end of the first half there that hurt, took a touchdown off the board. Arlen Bruce was wide open, got in the end zone, but illegal man downfield, so that brought that one back and took points off the board. As we're coming out ready to go here, Waukee will kick off from south to north, so they'll have the wind behind them here to start the second half, but they'll have to get a stop first to get the ball back.
That defensive stop right before the half, Dar, could be one of our talking points at the end of the game if Waukee's able to pull out a third quarter that they've been able to show in the past 2 weeks.
We've got Cade Summers back deep. Bruce and Brecht are up about the 20 here, and chances are that Barticek is going to boot it through the end zone, as he has all game long here, going this way, and he does. That one right on the back line of the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Ankeny to start it out. And into the wind. We'll see if they go with number 14, Arlen Bruce. Hand it to him. He's been playing the tailback position tonight. Colin Kadolf injured in that previous playoff game, and he was out there warming up, but haven't seen him on the field here. And here they come. Jace Bauer brings him out. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Drops straight back, looks deep, and hand fighting there, knocked away by Mukhtar, as it was McCullough out there going against Mukhtar one-on-one. He had the guy who broke it off underneath, but he decided to go deep.
He did, and honestly, it looked like the receiver had gotten behind the corner there, Bill. Mukhtar was able to get back into position to make a play on that ball. Great play there by the corner.
He had Simonson on the medium route there and decided to go deep with it, so it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 20 for Ankeny. This time they hand it off, and cutting up is Bruce across the 25, and he's pulled down at the 27, so a good pickup of 7 on second down. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
And they go to power there on second down, so you've got down blockers with a pulling guard. Bruce just found the hole and snuck right up through there. They actually scored on that play earlier with Bruce on his first touchdown.
He actually got 8 on that. 3rd and 2. Bruce in the backfield again. This time they're going to drop back and swing it out to him, and he's hit immediately, but he breaks the tackle at the 30, and he keeps pushing through and gets the first down. That would have been close on the stop there, but Bruce powers through it and picks up the first down.
And then he exploded into 2 defenders there at the end as well, took them with him for an extra yard.
Moves it up to the 38 for Ankeny. This time they'll send 3 receivers to the left with Bruce in the backfield. They'll give it to Bruce. He cuts it up to the 40. Are they running a trap in there, or are they just getting the hole?
It looks to be a power, so you're going to get down blocks from the guard and the tackle on the front side. Backside guard is going to pull, and we're going to follow him right up in that hole. This is the flow that we've been looking for from Ankeny. Yeah. We saw it early in the first quarter. It feels like it's starting to come back a bit for them.
So now they'll move Breck wide and put Bruce tight in the slot right next to him on the right side. And then Bauer will just take it and run it outside. He looks to cut it up and slides down to almost the 50-yard line. He'll have a first down. They'll mark him back at the 48, but should be enough for the first down. It is. They'll move the chains.
And we've seen this dual-threat quarterback take over for that exact reason. You have the ability to hand the ball off to a running back. You have the ability to throw the ball as a quarterback. Now we have the ability as a quarterback to just run the ball and follow an extra blocker with that running back.
Summers and McCullough come to the right. It's Brecht wide to the left. And Arlen Bruce playing the tailback there. They hand it to him. He waits, looks for room, cuts it across the 50. Looking for outside. He gets a block out there, but then he's pulled down before he can get free. And Carter Smith with the tackle.
A heck of a tackle there by the 5'7", 145-pound senior.
Looked like Bruce, he had McCullough out blocking. If he could get that corner, cut it back inside and maybe get to the end zone. But 2nd and 1 at the 43 here for Ankeny. Dropping straight back, Bauer looking. Now under pressure, and Sadat Jr. comes in and wraps him up for the sack. He plays defense too, and with Ryland out, I imagine we'll see him on the field a lot more defensively here in the second half.
And that D-line from Waukee must have known in the locker room at halftime, we're going to be the difference makers in the second half. Let's go out and make a big play.
Ryland down here on the sideline with crutches and a boot on that right leg. He got rolled up on in the first half, and the big defensive end is going to have to watch, I imagine, the second half here. But so they bring Sadat in there. That brings up a 3rd and 10 at the 48. Here, Waukee looking for the stop to get the ball back, trailing 14-0. Pressure, and there's a flag down. That's going to be holding as he throws the pass late, and it's caught out there, but that's going to come back. It was caught by Simonson, but the flag back at the 40 as Gutierrez was plowing through there with the pressure.
And I know all the offensive lineman alumni out there can feel for that tackle there. He was in a pass set, did a great job blocking, but when that quarterback breaks the pocket, you can no longer keep engaged and grab him, because once the defender tries to redirect and go for the quarterback, the ref's going to see that holding.
Ankeny's first penalty here of the second half, and it's a big one, holding. And that was back behind the line of scrimmage at the 40, so that ends up being, puts them all the way back at the 33rd and 28. They had 3rd and 10, so that's an 18-yard loss on that penalty. It swings it out and tackled right away out there by Smith.
And he sniffed that out. They went to something like that earlier where they tried to get Breck on a bubble on a 3rd and long situation. Breck got about 15 yards after the catch. Smith said, you're not doing that again.
So a big stop by the Waukee defense here. Morrison will go back deep to receive the punt. Pelham in punt formation, Riggs back in punt formation. And the flag down, procedure by Ankeny, so that'll push him back another 5. Somebody jumped down there, Paul?
That's on the absolute far side of where I'm at. I'm trying to get down to where the punt is instead of having the punt come to me. But, yeah, that third down play was huge. And then on the penalty on the hold, just because when you have to do 3rd and 28, I mean, nobody has a play for that. They should have just ran the ball.
Punting into the wind, it holds up. Morrison calling for the fair catch, and now it bounces as he wasn't able to get up to it. If he gets up to it, they got it on the Ankeny side of the 50. Instead, they'll get it at the 47, and Waukee will take over 1st and 10 at the 47 here with 7:54 to go in the third quarter. And Jacob Holcomb brings him out. The senior, 2 receivers to the left. They got Sadat slotted right and Lindquist behind him in the pistol. Brings Sadat in motion. They follow up. Lindquist is going to try to cut it outside. He does. Still going, and he ran laterally a long way and finally gets a yard, but he looked to his right and saw Flynn that hole not there and tried to make something out of it. He got maybe 2 yards.
A great job by that linebacking core for Ankeny, playing inside out, not letting him get to his power zone, making him bounce the play and forcing everything outside.
They switched the formation, mirror it back to the other side with 2 wide. Now handoff, no, fake, and they hit Menz, the tight end.
And there's that RPO we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Send the tight end on a short route, get Holcomb's confidence going, get your offense into a flow here.
Fooled me that time, as looked like they were going to give it to Lindquist, but pulled it out and got it to Braden Menz, the big tight end, the 6'2", 218-pound senior. That's just his 3rd catch. He's got 1 touchdown on the season. Now they go Twins to the right. Hand off Lindquist. Lindquist got some movement right up the middle. Powers right up through, rips off 9 yards before they pull him down.
And it looked like Waukee made some adjustments at halftime. Ankeny tried to show a different blitz pressure there. They picked it up tremendously. Great run.
Well, this looks like a replay of last week. Then they come out and start feeding it to Lindquist. Same formation, 2 right. It's Hundley and Smith, and Lindquist in the backfield behind Holcomb. They throw it out to Hundley. Hundley makes the catch at the 30. Gets up and is pushed down at the 21-yard line.
Great concentration there by number 10. And it looked like the defender had a possibility to pick that off. Great concentration, good hands catch.
I thought he might be going across the field deep to Smith with the wind behind him, but he decided to come up short, and Hundley is just so sure-handed. We've seen that all season long. 1st and 10 at the 21. They took it at their own 47 after the punt and are driving here. Waukee trying to get on the scoreboard, trailing 14-0. Tight formation here. Drops back, swings it out to Lindquist. Oh, and just over his hands, and there's going to be a penalty. And that, I know, that was more of a kind of a late hit there as the ball went by him, and then he was.
Yeah, there was a little extracurricular there. You're going to get called for that one every time.
As that was Brenken Manis with the hit and gets called for the personal foul. But we're seeing
Dar, it wasn't Manis. It was Rachi, and he's just he's out. That's
who was that?
He's
I'm
at least
sorry.
out at this play. They didn't call the ejection on the play, but they sent him out. You could hear the official clearly say, "You're out," and it was Rachi.
I'm sorry, Rachi.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Paul. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 11 after the penalty. Hand off Lindquist. Lindquist has some room left side. Touchdown! He powers it in from 11 yards out.
Goodness, and as a fan, this is something that you don't get a chance to see from the booth. But what Waukee has done to make an adjustment is they're going ahead on a hard count, which is giving the quarterback and the O-line a chance to see what pressure is coming, pick up their responsible block. Great job there, great execution. Touchdown, Waukee.
Lindquist takes it in. And for Lindquist, that's rushing touchdown number 7 on the season. Here's the extra point. That's a wobbler, but it goes through. Bartachek missed his first extra point last week. He's now 34 of 35 on the season, and we got a ball game, folks. 14-7 here. 5:49 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Man, that hard count by Waukee.
Back here at Waukee, Paul Yeager, what'd you see on that play down there?
Well, that whole series was set up. Notice what the personnel was. It was a different double tight personnel, 88 and 89. When you start bringing in Sadat and Menz, that made all the difference. The line was different. Ankeny came out with a different front, 3 to 4 man front. The 3-man was not working. That's the same formation that didn't work last week for Ankeny, or at least they struggled with it. But on that last touchdown play, there was an opening. The safety was coming up for the blitz, and he didn't even come up on that play. But there were numbers. Think of 4 on 3, 3 on 2. There was a seam right there for Lindquist, and it made it look easy. That was a great offensive second half series to start it for Waukee.
He's got such great eyes in seeing that. We saw him. He took it over last week and to start the second half, and now it's a new ball game here. Waukee capitalizes with the wind, and they'll kick off again. And penalties already here. 3 penalties, a 10, a 5, and a 15-yarder against Ankeny in this third quarter, and they really hurt them, especially that 15-yard personal foul penalty on this drive. And so now Bartachek will kick it off again, and we'll look for him to get another touchback here with the wind at his back. And the flags are back. Looks like they're back up straight out across the field. And he gets it up high, and this one bounces beyond the end zone. So got a little more boot in that. You get a little more adrenaline when you get touchdown, Flynn.
I think we're going to see quite a bit of these kicks from these kickers on their huddle tapes at the end of the season.
So now Ankeny will come out, see how they respond to the score of Waukee. As 5:49 to play here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 20. Bauer out. Hands it off, looking for room, and ripped down at the 20, no gain. Gutierrez in there to pull down Arlen Bruce. And also in there was Chase Evanson, and Bruce is staying down. Looks like he's stretching out that left leg there.
Yeah, you could call that a cramp, possibly. It didn't look like he got rolled on. He grabbed that left leg right away.
Just kind of pulled back as now he's getting up. That's good to see. He's getting up and walking off. You're right. Probably looks like a cramp. He's kind of, now he picks up the speed a little bit. He'll have to go out for a play because of the stopping it for the injury there. But that's the first time I think they've stopped him on a run there, isn't it, Clint?
Yeah, on that first down possession. They try to go back to power. Doesn't work. That defensive line from Waukee, they're ready to make a difference here in the second half.
2 receivers left, 1 right for Bauer. He brings McCullough in tighter to the formation, drops back. McCullough goes down and out, and right at the first down marker, he'll catch it for a first down. And is that Godolphin there, Paul? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, let's cut off into the ball game here. Bruce is doing handling most of the tailback duties, but now Kadolf comes back in. And they go trips to the left for Ankeny. Fakes it. Now Bauer will take it himself, and he is pulled down after pickup of 1 by Morrison. He closes quickly on that.
We see a lot of power from the Ankeny offense, and power concept, basically what it is front side we're going down blocks, backside guard or backside guard +1 is going to be pulling, and they ran that power to the QB that time into the boundary. Joe Morrison read it out, made the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Good job.
Trips to the left, pitch back to Kadolf. He has some room over there, and he'll be pulled down just shy of the first down. A good pickup, though. Will be 3rd and short, 3rd and about 2 here for Ankeny. Just quick pitch to the left, and Kadolf not showing any worse for the wear with the ankle problem there. Bruce has been in the backfield. He went off. We'll see if he comes back. 3rd and 2 for Ankeny. 2 receivers right. Slot left, 1 receiver left. Bauer drops back, throws it out quickly for Brecht, and it's beyond him. Smith in coverage, and that's going to be 4th down.
And to the naked eye, it may look like that was on the quarterback. That's on the receiver. He ran the out route. Coming out of your break, you got to be expected to run full speed out of your break. And what Brecht did was he ran that out, kind of presented a big target and stood tall. No speed to the sideline. He overthrew him.
So now Waukee, 2 straight stops here to start the 3rd quarter. Morrison goes back to his 35 for the punt. And it's away. Morrison pointing it, and it takes a bounce, and now gets a good Ankeny bounce back as it bounces about the 41 and will roll out at the 37. So a 25-yard punt into the win. Waukee, 1st and 10 at the 36. They went 53 yards on their last drive. And we'll take over here at the 36 with 3:56 to play in the 3rd. Trips to the left for Holcomb. Lindquist in the backfield, single receiver to the right. Fakes to Lindquist. Throw. Oh, he had Stout coming back in and overthrew him. And they got him on the play action, but unable to hit Stout.
Slightly overthrown there. Tried to run a slant from the backside on that RPO look. Got to complete that on 1st down.
They bring Menz back in the tight end and Hundley. Hundley will come down here to the left with Smith. Menz will line up tight end right, Sadat tight end left, and Lindquist back behind Holcomb. 2nd and 10 at the 36. Hand off to Lindquist. Lindquist into the hole and then is met there and pulled down.
Alex Lindquist, the ball carrier, number 26.
And Ryan Crandall and Manis on the tackle. So he picks up 1, so big 3rd down here, 3rd and 9.
3rd and 9 for Waukee.
For Waukee at the 37.
Warriors 37.
This time they'll split. Sadat out wide and go trips left with Hundley and Smith. Stout wide to the right. Fake to Lindquist. Dropping, throws it across. Sadat picks it off at the 49 off the shoe tops, and he gets up to the 41.
And Holcomb had plenty of time to complete the pass there. They only brought 5 guys in on the rush. Waukee had 5 plus a backer to block. Holcomb was able to set his feet, make a throw. And like you said, great shoe top catch there by
Waukee goes temple. They get up to the line quickly here. They'll go with that same formation. Somebody was talking about they need to get it up the seam to the tight end. I don't know who that was, but here we go. 1st and 10 at the 41 for Waukee. Holcomb looks in, takes the snap, drops back, throws it out quickly to the sideline to Stout. And that goes wide and incomplete.
Depending on the play from Ankeny, it's Cooper Cox, number 5.
Cooper Cox on the coverage, 2nd and 10. Now they're going to flip Sadat and Hundley to the right. and moves Smith out wide to the left. He's covered by Breck. They hand it off to Lindquist. Lindquist picking his way, spins around inside the 40, and he'll get just a couple. So it'll bring up 3rd and long again for Waukee. Pick up with just 2. And 3rd and 8 at the 39 for Waukee. They put a little bunch set to the left. Single receiver Smith too high on the right. And Lindquist is the back. Lindquist fake to him. Pressure coming. Runs out of it, but not all the way out, and he's finally brought down. Nixon Timu in there.
And only a 4-man pressure there by Ankeny. Was able to get pressure on the quarterback with a 6-man protection.
Timu and Simonson helped finish it off, so now it's 4th and 11 at the 39. They're going to send in the punt team and try to hold Ankeny down deep. Clock under 2 minutes now. So they'll get the punt with the wind, and then Ankeny will get the wind back here in the 4th quarter. Here's the snap. Booty's angle it to the right side. And it bounces. Did it get out before?
Wow.
No, he's going to bring it up. Let's see. He walks up to the 3-yard line. What a punt.
You can't ask for much better of a job by your punter than that, huh, Dar?
54-yard punt. He get the angle on it. Yeah, and it bounced right out.
I guess you could ask for 2 more yards.
Well, yeah. I mean, he could have deaded it right at the 1, but, you got to add in. He misfigured the wind a little bit there, but we're perfectionists, you and I. That's the problem.
It's the golf game.
So they got pressure again down there, Paul. Ankeny, and kind of blew up that.
This is a huge drive right now for Ankeny. Think of it. If there's any holding in the end zone, that's a safety right now. You are still going in the win with 1:18. This is probably Ankeny's biggest drive of the game right here.
And here comes Ankeny. 2 to the right, 1 receiver left. Hand off. Bruce is back in there now, and he slides among the tacklers up to about the 7. So good to see Arlen Bruce back in there. And he gives him a little running room.
I don't think that ankle deteriorated his abilities at all on that run.
No, he was just shuffling through, following the blockers. 2nd and 6 at the 7. And Ankeny's content to run this clock down a little bit and flip it around to get the wind for the 4th quarter. 10 seconds on the play clock, 40 on the game clock. They send a man in motion. Now Bauer will take it himself, and he'll dive up. He'll get up to the 15, and he'll get the first down for Ankeny. Ben Howland and Chase Evanson in on the stop for Waukee. Well, here's a big drive, too, if they can chew up the clock, get the wind. While they're waiting, there's about a 5-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. You're winding down in the 3rd quarter. Bruce, the tailback back there, 2 receivers right, 1 left. They'll hand off to Arlen Bruce. He cuts it back to the right side and gets up to around the 20-yard line, and that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We'll go to the 4th quarter. 14-7, Ankeny over Waukee. Stick with us here on CISN.TV.
At Schottenkirk Ford in Indianola, an all-time sales record in September means you'll save thousands as we try to break the record again. Get up to $14,000 off new 2020 Ford F-150 XLTs, up to $8,000 off new 2020 Ford Escapes. Our certified used vehicles come with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Why Schottenkirk Ford? Our core values: hard work, trust, honesty, and integrity. Hurry in. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here to Waukee, one team has 12 minutes to play in their season, another 12 minutes to the Unidome. Right now, Ankeny with the advantage, 14-7. They have the ball. They'll turn and go with the wind here. Paul Yeager down on the sideline. And Paul, maybe Arlen Bruce will see the ball a few times here for Ankeny.
I would think that would be what you'd want to do, especially if you had the wind that you were going into it, which Ankeny was in the third quarter. Now they got the wind back behind them, going south to north. It has changed. I thought second quarter into third quarter it kind of died down. I really think in the last, 2 to 3 minutes, it's kind of picks back up.
It has. We can see the flags again over there. They're standing straight out on the east side of the stadium.
But this is a big play. I mean, again, let's think for Waukee's sake here. You can get off the field here on third down. Field position's absolutely in your favor.
It's second down, though.
If you can, you can stop them is what I mean.
Second and 5. They swing it out to Bruce. He catches it, and he's going to get up for a first down. They do get him out of bounds. But then that's the thing, too, with Flynn. It's either hand it to him or swing it out to him and just use that speed in his legs and just keep winding that clock.
We've seen that same look, Dar, probably 4 or 5 times today. The only difference is that the wrinkle that they did was QB power off the backside, using Arlen Bruce as a decoy. Now you just give him the ball and let him make plays.
2 left, 1 receiver right. That's Summers that's McCullough came in motion. Now they throw it deep behind the deep. Oh, almost made a one-handed catch, but can't bring it in. Was McCullough.
And he was about one little bit of stickum away from being on SportsCenter Top 10 with that catch. Holy cow.
He had about 6 yards on the defender, and he got the right hand on it, but was unable to pull it in. Otherwise, that was 6.
And that really just does show you how elite of a quarterback Jace is. His feet were set to a shorter route, readjusted, saw what was going on down the field, made that throw.
But also the push of the wind probably, threw it a little farther. We saw that with Holcomb last week when the wind kind of pushed it a little farther what he wanted. So second down and 10. Hand off. Bruce, he skips around up to the 35, and he'll get close to another first down.
And when he wants to, he can run through you. When he wants to, he can make you miss. He's got all the skills to play running back and receiver.
And he's got one of those where he stops and he shuffles, and then he's right back to full speed again.
No, it's almost like he gets really skinny at one point, and then he becomes
just
big
boom,
again.
right up through there. First and 10 third and 1 at the 27, and it'll be Bauer on the sneak, and looks like he'll have it.
Jace Bauer, the quarterback, number 8.
Let's see. Push him back late, but forward progress. Let's see. Well, he may be short the way they're marking it right there.
No gain on the play.
No, they're going to say no gain. It looked like he got. Got a little more there.
It looked like his momentum carried him. Not a very favorable spot for. Oh,
yep.
And they will move the chains.
Wait, now they move the chains. Okay.
The Waukee sideline.
The Boo Birds are out. Over here, Waukee sideline. They didn't. They thought it was there, but now they're talking with the coach over there. He stopped the clock.
Timeout.
And they gave him the first down, but Ankeny.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. Did Ankeny take a timeout, Paul?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. But on that far sideline, so there was Ankeny's sideline was concerned that they thought that Bauer had gotten the ball a little further, and they thought they even had it on the play before. They finally get it. Play clock had gotten down to 5, but you had seen 2 officials pushing their hand up to indicate to reset the play clock, and it just hadn't done it. So there was just a whole lot of. Coach Rick Nelson was out on the field he was trying to get some explanation, and it has gotten a little more passion. I spent the first half on the Ankeny sideline and second half here on the Waukee sideline. So it seems like there's a little more emotion over there.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to avoid confrontation.
Well, they've taken the timeout off the board for Ankeny, so now we're. And thank heaven in high school we don't have the red flags they can throw out there. Do that. But these officials do a great job, though, overall, with it. And,
you wouldn't want to be the booth review guy, Don?
No, I wouldn't want to be. Fake to Bruce, rolling out, looking, thrown back to Bruce the other way, got him wide open down the sideline. 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. He'll just waltz in, touchdown.
Everybody in the entire stadium was fooled on that one, Dar. It looked like it was a play action here to the field. And actually, if you were watching Brody Breck on the play, you wouldn't have even assumed he was getting the ball. Bruce ends up wide open down the field on a little tailback sneak out of the backfield. Touchdown, Ankeny.
They faked it to him, then he rolled out, and, man, that was just a matter of don't overthrow him this time. And it's 20-7, Waukee pending the extra point.
And with a guy like Arlen Bruce, I don't think you can outthrow him.
Pelham in for the extra point. Snap. Kick is high and no good.
Is there a late flag?
On the field.
Yeah, I think so. Did that hit the goalpost, Paul? Did you see?
No, it did not hit the goalpost. It went to the right of that.
Right.
It was clearly yellow the entire time, and the ball was on the side. The flag came here on the left side, and I think it's going to be against. They're going to say that Waukee roughed up the snapper came through, and that's what the penalty is.
Yeah, you have to leave that snapper alone. So sometimes they decline that because it keeps the. It's not half the distance and it keeps it right back there, but they're going to take the penalty. So there's the kick, and this time it's good. So it's 21-7, Ankeny over Waukee. Take a break, be back with the kickoff after this on CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Here at Waukee, well, it's been Arlen Bruce's night. A 31-yard run in the first quarter, a 1-yard sneak in the first quarter, now a 63-yard touchdown pass. They faked it to him. He rolled out of the back field to the right, and Bauer looked to the left and then found Bruce wide open, hit him in stride, and he was into the end zone, no problem there. And it's 21-7. And Pelham will kick it off.
I was extremely impressed by that play call there for Ankeny with the score. Finding another way to get Arlen Bruce the ball. That makes 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Back deep is Smith, Morrison, and Lindquist. But we'll see if this goes into the end zone here too. As there it is in the back of the end zone in high school. Gets in the end zone, you can't run it out. And there's a touchback, so Waukee. First and 10 at the 20, 10:44 to play. They're down by 2 scores now. And we were just talking in the break, we haven't seen any big plays out of Aaron Smith yet. They've done a good job of keeping him quiet. And let's see, he's out there, and Brecht is on it, down to the right. And off Lindquist, and he plows ahead for 4.
The running back number 26. Number 4 for Ankeny, Bryce Peterson on another tackle.
Peterson in on the tackle for Ankeny.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for the Warriors.
2nd and 6. for Waukee. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Wings it out there, caught, and Stout tries to rip away from the defender, but he can't. He picks up just a couple, but the defender is down over there, and they're looking at him over there. It looks to be Cooper Cox. After making the play, he stayed down on the field. So
Doug, from this vantage point, it looks they are stretching it. Looks like it might be a cramp. That's the second one we saw, or that we've seen here in the second half. So look for Waukee to return to that double tight formation. Look for 89 Sadat. He has been open on that last play. He just ran one of those 8 yards down, turn around, and he was there. I'd take 8 yards at the tight end all day if I could, and twice on Sundays.
Yeah, and when he gets it, usually he runs over a couple guys before they bring him down. He's been a bulldozer when he does catch it. So trips right now for Holcomb. He turns back, says something to Lindquist, his running back. Right behind him there. He'll roll right. Lindquist picks up the blitzer. They get it out to Sadat, and he is going to be stopped just short, I think, of the first down. He's going to be about a yard shy, and I think they might be going for it here with 9:59 to play, trailing by 2 scores. 4th and 1 at the 29. Big play for Waukee. Let's see if they try to, I'm going to say maybe try to pull him off. They'll only give it to Lindquist. He plows in there. I think he's got it. Yep, Lindquist up across the 30, so he gets the first down.
And the sense of urgency now has to pick up for Waukee. You're down 14, under 10 minutes left. Probably stay in 12 here on maybe first, second. Oh, they're going to get out of 12 personnel and go back to passing situations. But I do agree with Paul. Getting 89 the ball in the middle of the field is going to be what benefits Waukee a lot.
Let's say that. He's in the slot on the right, along with Smith. They give it to Lindquist. He's right up the middle, pushes the pile up to the 35. And bulldozes up there and gets a good pickup. 4 on first down. Now they send Sadat, Hundley, and Stout to the left. Smith to the right on the short side of the field. Backside blitz and picked up there by Lindquist, but Holcomb had to do what he could to get rid of that. Good job by Lindquist to pick that up, because otherwise that was going to be a sack. But 3rd and 6 again here for Waukee. Trips left, Smith right. Brecht is on him. Man-to-man coverage. Smith breaks free, runs down the field, but they throw the other way. Looking for Stout, and it goes incomplete. Brecken Manis on the coverage over there.
And it looked like there was 2 white jerseys around the ball there. That was a little bit of a reckless throw, but we're here into the late parts of the game. We got to take some chances down the field.
Smith right here, he went on a quick go-around. He had some yardage, but Holcomb was rolling to his left and didn't even look that way.
You know, and we've seen Smith, they've tried to give him the ball in the backfield. They try to give him the ball on screens. We have not seen them take a shot downfield. I don't know if it's that they don't feel comfortable having Holcomb throw to the field. Have Smith run a go route from here to the boundary and take advantage of that.
Nice snap, but he gets the punt off. Brecht back there, and it takes a Ankeny bounce. It hits the 35 and bounces back up to the 38, where Ankeny will take over. 1st and 10 at the 35.
Ankeny takes over 1st and 10.
And for Waukee, defense now more pressure on them, getting a stop, getting the ball back for the offense to try to get something going. And Paul, I imagine number 14 again?
Well, that's a good thought. You are up 2 scores, 9 minutes. You got to choose some clock if you're Ankeny right here. And 14 in that slot where he spent a lot of the year.
And now quarterback's just going to take it and run it himself. They went with empty backfield, and Bauer just took it himself, and that's all right for Ankeny because it keeps the clock rolling, and he picked up 5 yards. So now Cade Summers and McCullough will go to the right. They'll put Arlen Bruce back there in the backfield again, and Breck down to the left. Hand off to Bruce, and looks like Sadat wrangled him down at the 45.
And I can expect we're going to see a lot more of this power concept by Ankeny. What they're looking for is they're looking for a one shade. So a one shade in terms of defensive fronts is when that nose or that tackle is shaded to the strength of the center. And once you have that, what you do is you down block the guard. The tackle will leave the end and go pick up the backer, and that pulling guard will block out the end, and there's a clear lane for you to run up and through.
Okay. I got it.
You got all that?
So they're looking for a hole for him to run through is what you're saying.
So next time you're playing Madden, call power.
Yeah, Bauer. Well, they called Bauer this time instead of the power, and he just takes it around the right side and down to the 45 of Waukee. Sambler on the tackle.
First down, Ankeny.
And once they get the chain set, they do, and the clock will start up again. 7.5 to play here. Ankeny up 21-7. They scored early, stopped Waukee twice and scored twice. Waukee got a score, came out in the third quarter, came down and got a score, and then they got the ball back and were unable to get a score. A big stop by Ankeny. And then Ankeny, the big play again to Bruce. Bruce, all 3 scores. And hand off to Bruce again, right side. Sips through, 35-30. And he'll go down. He stays in bounds over there.
Very intelligent play by 14 to stay in bounds, keep that clock running. And again, Dar, there was some of that power action for you.
Yep. Down to the 22, and he stays in bounds. He goes down. So once they get the chain set, they roll the clock again. And the clock is the ally of Ankeny right now. They can wind that down and keep the ball out of the hands of Waukee's offense. Bruce in the backfield. McCullough to the right. Snap is fumbled! They're on it. Who's got it? We had that play before, a bounce off Bauer, and Bruce got it. Now let's see if Waukee, looks like Ankeny, they're saying, recovered it.
Covered by Ankeny.
Ankeny recovered it, but we saw that in the first half. It bounced off Bauer, and Bruce was able to get the ricochet, but I don't know, Paul, is that the center snapping it earlier? What did you see there?
Well, it was a high snap, and that is a problem with, in these gun or pistol formations where you're relying a lot on that center, and it throws off the timing of everything. A couple of times, Bauer last week had to go up high for it, and if you're expecting it to be there and you take your eye off, you just can't take your eye off the ball.
2nd and 14 at the 26 now. Brecht in motion across the formation. He goes up to the right side. Bauer dropping back, gets a little pressure. He's going to run out of it. He has room over the left side. Now he cuts it up, and it'll be pulled down and get back beyond the original line of scrimmage and picks up some. But the big thing here, Flynn, is the clock just keeps rolling and rolling.
It keeps rolling and rolling, and if you're Waukee, this has got to hurt you watching this clock tick off. You need a big stop here on 3rd down and then hopefully give your team a chance to call a timeout.
3rd and 6 at the 18. For Ankeny.
And if you're Ankeny, there's obviously no reason to have a sense of urgency. Get the play call in. And if you don't even like it, you can probably call timeout with 1 second left on the play clock.
Play clock at 5 now as they come up. Trips to the right. Bruce in the backfield. And now they're going to have to call a timeout as the clock down to 1. And they hadn't got it snapped. So Ankeny will take a break. We'll take a break too. Here, Ankeny up 21-7 on CISN.TV.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Ankeny, it's 21-7. Ankeny over Waukee, 4:53 to play. In the ball game, winner moves on to the Unidome into the semifinals. Loser packs up the pads and calls it a season. Waukee right now on the back end of that, trying to get a stop here. 3rd and 6. And they're almost in territory, Flynn, where they'll probably go on 4th down, you'd think. You know, or either try to kick the field goal with a wind behind their back, but that you might not do because you don't want to get it blocked and returned. So we'll see what depends on what they pick up here.
I agree with you. I think going for it on 4th, utilize this 14-point advantage and take away all the clock you can.
Bauer comes up. He's got Arlen Bruce in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to his right, 1 left. High snap again, goes back under pressure. It's tipped. Bruce catches it, but he's going to be pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. And we'll lose a yard. Morrison on the tackle.
So it'll be at about 4:05 when they're run out of play clock here.
And from here at the 20, that'd be a 37-yarder.
And the wind has kind of died back down a little bit, Dar. So I think they're talking it over. I think they're going to take time out, and they're going to play clock at 8. Yeah, they're not going to run it here. So maybe they are.
Well, play clock at 4. Up under center. Goes to 0 as it's snapped. Dropping back. Bauer throws it toward the end zone to Brecken over his head a little too deep. And Smith back there defending, so he put it up high, hoping Breck could get to it, but he couldn't. It goes out of the end zone, so it'll go turned over on downs to Waukee. They'll take over. 1st and 10 at the 20. 4:01 to play. They need 2 scores to stay in this and extend the game here. And their offense has not really been in a lot of rhythm here in the second half. Lindquist behind. Now they throw across the middle to Hundley, and it's a little behind him, and he goes incomplete.
Yeah, tough grab there, running a slant, going all the way back behind the body to make the catch. I know 10 well. He'll want that one back, but that's a really tough catch to make.
Hundley and Stout to the left. They got Sadat over there to the left, too, and Smith down here at the bottom. Brecht is lined up man-to-man defense on Smith. Lindquist in the backfield. Fake to Lindquist. Drops back, throws it out to Smith. He tiptoes the sideline and gets out of bounds just shy of the 1st down. It does stop the clock and brings up 3rd and 1.
I'd like to see them continue to take advantage of Aaron Smith here in the boundary. Whether you send him on goes or have him run those comeback routes, he is a threat at all times on the field.
Brecht comes up, tight coverage on him. Low snap, and they hand it off to Lindquist. Just get that off, and he'll get across for the 1st down. That'll stop the clock. On the 1st down, they'll have to get up. Waukee getting back quickly to 1st and 10 at the 33. Rewind the clock. Trips left. Dropping back. Smith is behind the defense. Oh, and just missed it there. And coming in, almost a late shot on the defense there by Will Cornwell. He had Brecht in front of him and Cornwell behind. A little better pass, and that would have been a big gainer.
And I do like the play call on 1st down. You're still in a 2nd and 10 situation, which is pretty much the same as 1st 10. You're in 4 down territory right now. You're going for it on 4th. It doesn't do anything to you taking that shot there.
Trips left. Lindquist swings out of the backfield to get it to him. He makes his way up, stays in bounds on the pickup. Bring up around a 3rd and 5 for Waukee. Same formation. Smith down here at the bottom. Drop back. He's throwing it deep outside to Stout, and just off the fingertips of Dale Stout down the left side.
A tremendous throw by Holcomb there. He saw Stout leaving his defender before he even got behind him. Stout just couldn't pull in that ball there at the end.
4th and 5. Waukee now has to get the first down to keep their hopes alive here of extending the season. Lindquist in the backfield, trips to the left, and now a timeout called as they want to talk it over here. We'll keep it right here. And
Dar, I can't help but feel like this play right here is probably going to determine the outcome of this game.
Yeah, if you miss it, then we're going to see a lot of handoffs and run the clock down, and pretty well Ankeny can put it away and make plans for a ride to the Unidome.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, are you still on the Waukee sideline, Paul? I don't see you down there.
Yeah, I'm here. We're kind of looking. There's rumblings about semifinal games right now starting to circulate about who it might be. Could be, if Ankeny would hold on, it might be Dowling that they would play. And the seedings, if you look it out, it's kind of a matter of who is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So, you got Pleasant Valley, Southeast Polk. So if you put one of them at 1 and the other one at 4, and then if Dowling and Ankeny would be in the middle, that's how 2, 3 would play. Right now, all right, big 4th down. I'm not sure. I'd love to see that Waukee that was here in that first drive of the second half, but they've shown some flashes here. Let's see. Smith is going slot left.
Yep, and Hundley out there. They got Dale Stout down to the right. Now they bring Smith across. Now he goes back the other way. Rolling out, they get it to Smith. Smith needs to cut it up to get the first down. He's not going to get it. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Ankeny celebrating as that may be the ball game.
Number 3, Brecken Manis.
Brecken Manis with the coverage. And I like that. They tried to get Smith out there in space, move him around a little bit, but just Ankeny saw it and got there quickly.
That felt like one of those basketball plays towards the end of the game where you just want to get the ball to your best player. And they tried to do it. Ankeny snuffed it out and made a great stop there.
So they will take over at the 37 of Waukee. Waukee has 2 timeouts left with 2:57 to play in the ballgame, trailing by 2 touchdowns. And hand off to Arlen Bruce. Bruce cuts inside, now back. And he picks up a big chunk of yardage, and Waukee will call a timeout.
Tackled by number 34, Joseph White. Chase Evanson assisting. Timeout, Waukee.
Well, I'm talking with Coach Carlson. He said we've had the toughest schedule, and the thing I'm proudest of is we lost that first one, but we come back, and we've been down, and we keep battling back. And he says it is what it is, that schedule. You just got to come out and you don't worry about it and you play every week, and they've done that, and what is it, 10 points or so, the 2 losses, and barring a miracle here, they'll finish up the season in the quarterfinals, but really just an outstanding effort this entire season by Waukee.
It really has been, and this senior class is going to carry on with them after this. All the football teams will, but especially this senior class will carry on with them the idea that they can handle any adversity thrown their way. COVID coming, the limited practices, coming out here and being able to advance to the quarterfinals, you got to feel confident as a young man.
Some of these juniors will be going to Northwest, and some of the other underclassmen as the school splits up next year. Maurer comes right up, and he's going to sneak it, try to get that first down.
Quarterback Jace Bauer up the middle, number 8.
And he'll be short, and Waukee will take their last timeout with 2:43 to play.
Timeout.
And a reminder, we're audio only here tonight live, but we'll have the game up for you to watch on video afterwards. And Paul, you've seen this Ankeny team throughout the year. Of course, the controversy with Bruce and whether he could play or not, and they've seemed to handle all that pretty well coming through the season, haven't they?
They have, and I was just thinking to the first time these two teams, I watched you call that game back in early September, and Coach Nelson, I had asked him this week, and I said, what sticks with you? And he's like, we just couldn't get a first down. So you've got a situation here, 3rd and 1, 2:48. This game not
Not over yet.
Not over yet, but it's a little bit of different field position. I mean, Ankeny has got to get the first down here if they want to. It's not even a guarantee there to salt it away, but field position is on their side. Now, the Arlen Bruce story has been one that was well told in the local media, and Bruce is a special player. He's also pretty well adopted by his teammates, and he was trying to support everybody throughout the year before he was cleared to play, and they've kind of rallied around him, and when they're all seeing just how special he is.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 1 at the 28. Bauer hands off to Bruce. He's going to go with the right side. Makes a move, jukes a man, cuts it back inside, knocked around, and they'll go down at the 5-yard line. And there's the first down. He almost broke that all the way.
That'll just about do it right there, Dar.
And down to the 4-yard line, 1st and 10.
And you don't see it often, Dar, but it kind of looked like he had a little bit of doubt if he should finish in the end zone.
Yeah, I think, he did. Because he kind of turned, and it's like, do I go down and keep the clock running, or do I go in the end zone and score?
What a good problem to have for a team, right?
Of course, here it'd be 3 scores, so it'd be a difference, but now they come out trips left. Bruce in the backfield. They're going to hand off to Bruce. He's going to cut it up and walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Arlen Bruce. 4-yard touchdown run for Arlen Bruce. His 3rd run of the night. He has 1 catch for a touchdown.
Dar, looking back to the first game now, it's pretty clear how big of an impact this kid can have in a football game. 4 touchdowns today, 3 on the ground, 1 in the air. A tremendous football player the Hawkeyes will be getting in the class 2021.
And he's still got some high school ball yet to play here, too. But, and you can, here's the snap, and the kick is up. And with all the stuff, you can debate it here and there. Was it right to have these players transfer in? Valley, they had a quarterback. He came in and played a couple games, and ineligible, and but
and I may be biased on this because I myself was a high school transfer and transferred for the love of football. It shouldn't be in the hands of anybody else but these kids. They're the ones that are going to have to live with all these sacrifices that their parents, their families are making, and it shouldn't be up to anybody but the kids ultimately who's getting to get these chances to play. So,
and like we say, look at Valley again. They didn't get to play.
Yeah.
So it's in this year of things gone mad. It's
every opportunity these kids get a chance to play, it really does feel like a blessing, and I would hate to take it away from any single one of them.
So they'll tee it up here with 2:06 to play, 28-7, and let's see for Arlen Bruce, that's his 6th rushing touchdown and his 4th receiving touchdown on the season. This one is maybe going to fall short, and Smith runs it down. Smith will pick it up, looking for some room, trying to get somewhere. He zigs and zags, and now it'll be pulled down at the 22-yard line. It's been a pleasure watching him this year. Also, Jacob Holt could come in, and he replaced a guy who was a 1,000-yard rusher, a 1,000-yard passer, and he's had a great senior season here. Alex Lindquist is over 1,500 yards this season. Eddie Sadat Jr., a lot of just top players here for Waukee, too.
This class of 2021 in Waukee's history is going to go down as maybe one of the most talented teams to not make it to the Dome. But if you're Waukee as a community, you're proud of these kids. They've left it all out on the field. And, unfortunately, you don't get the win tonight, advance to the semifinal Dome, but a tremendous season to hang your hat on.
That one out to Smith, and then a little talking back and forth there, a little chippy on the sideline. And I think there was a little bit of that toward the end of the last game, but it's been a pretty well-played game here for the most part tonight. Ankeny had some penalties early in the 3rd quarter, but
it has been, and obviously emotions start to run high here towards the end of the game. You just hope.
There's Stout. Stout takes it at the 35, 40, 45, 50. Breaks through, and they're going to pull him down around the 50-yard line. So they hit Stout, and finally the big play they're looking for, but Rachi brings him down. Ball at the 50. It'll be 1st and 10. They got to scramble to get everybody going here as they roll the clock. Now Stout will come inside. Sadat and Smith to the right. Holcomb dropping back. Looking, and there's... What happened over there? Intercepted. I look back here. There was a holding, and then it was intercepted, so I missed the interception.
Yeah, Holcomb just overthrew his target, and the safety was behind him. It landed right in his lap.
So there's a penalty for holding, and that will be declined, and Ankeny will take over at the 34. Paul, when's the last time they've been to the semifinals?
The last time the Ankeny Hawks were in the semifinals was the year they won it all when Joel Lanning was quarterback, 2012, the last year before the split. Sound familiar if you're a Waukee? You were trying to do that script this year to be in Cedar Falls in your last year before your split. But, yes, 2012, Joel Lanning and Jerry Pizzetti was the head coach. This year, Rick Nelson and his crew are mapping their way to the semifinals, wherever they may be played.
We're going into the victory formation here, and they'll take a knee, Bauer, and roll the clock. Waukee out of timeouts.
But there's a couple of questions, though.
Yeah, what's it?
With Ankeny. With Weston Folk, your tight end, and also a guy who's been playing some of the D line, that's a big body against a good Dowling team. Now, Dowling advanced to the semis without having to play tonight because of the positives there at Valley, and they have the night. They can watch this game. They can be on the sidelines and get a sense of this team. But darn well that coaching staff has been watching Ankeny and Waukee the whole year, knowing that could have been an opponent in the postseason.
Clock winding down here. Been a great season of football here on CISN.TV. Thanks to Justin down on the sideline camera. Randy, he's always there with a shot on the camera up here, up high. Man, Ruben here running the controls does a great job, and Peter Tarpey kind of keeps us all in line, keeps us fed and that. So there's going to be probably the last snap. Winded down, and Ankeny set for a trip to the Dome. Waukee wraps up a great season. Final one is two schools. Who knows what the future will hold there, but I got a feeling with the way they're growing and the players and the development they have here in Waukee, we're going to see probably a couple good football teams pretty soon. We saw that at Ankeny as they split, and then they got, so it's going to be interesting to watch that as it develops too.
It will be interesting to see Waukee split into two schools. Just for all these kids out here today, you can recall back to this feeling of being done with football and just carry all these life lessons you learned with you outside of the field. I feel for all these kids out here today, but life goes on, and you guys will have plenty of opportunities to use all the lessons you've learned in football beyond this. So,
well, let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up here. 28-7 Waukee advances to the semifinals on CISN.TV.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Here at Waukee, the players, Waukee hugging, they got their trophy. Not the one they wanted, but it's, anytime you finish the season in the playoffs, it's a good one. And they will wrap up the season. Let's run down the scoring. They're kind of savoring the last moment here. Talking about the final year, but Early on, it was Ankeny forced a punt and took it in 31 yards out. Arlen Bruce with 8:45 to go in the first quarter. Kick was good. It was 7-0. And Ankeny forced a punt on the next series. Got the ball at the 40. Bruce took it 39 yards. And then they sent him in and it looked like it was going to be a jet sweep, but he stopped at the center, got under center, and took the snap and snuck it over from one. Ankeny came out in the third quarter. Looked like they were going to get a rally, get back in it. They did for a minute there. It was Lindquist with an 11-yard run, 5:42 to play. The extra point was good. It was 14-7. But then what was probably the backbreaker, a 63-yard pass to Arlen Bruce. He came out of the backfield. Bauer looking to the left and then threw back to the right. Bruce was wide open and took it in. And then Bruce ran it in from 4 yards out with 2:06 to go here in the ball game, making the final here 28-7. They will advance, and they're going to play, I guess, Dowling in the semifinals. Final thoughts, Paul?
Well, it's always tough when one of these teams has to go. I mean, you've seen Waukee play this year. Great group of kids and great talent, and you know this is an emotional football game. I mean, football is an emotional sport, and tonight was no different. When you have that game to go to play in the Final Four, everybody dreams about being on that big stage, and it's just hard to see those faces go. But you know what? That's why they play, and they got to have a season. How many of these kids across the country did not get a season this year? And so you always have to kind of put some of that into perspective. And congratulations to Scott Carlson and his group of talented, and you kind of heard it over the PA right before they ended. I mean, this is an end of an era, and you're going to see a lot of that in Waukee this year when it comes to football and basketball, softball, baseball, and all these sports. But you know, Ankeny's been down that road, and they've had to deal with it. And now you've got the two high school situation, and I see Aaron Smith here sitting on the bench by himself, and this is a moment he's going to soak up. You know, some guys get to play football one more time, and some, this is it. This is the last time they put on the pads, and it's always a tough time to say goodbye.
All right, appreciate it, Paul. Great job tonight. Flynn, thanks to you stepping in here. Good job out of you once again. And for all the crew here, keep an eye on the schedule for basketball. Lord willing, we'll be there and bringing it to you on CISN.TV too here. That's going to wrap it up. The final 28-7. Ankeny advances to the semifinals here on CISN.